Well, getting into late October here, and it's supposed to cool down even in a place like Miami, South Florida, JC. It's a hot one this afternoon.
It is, and that's going to be a factor. Green Bay, they've been preaching all week. We've got to hydrate. We've got to drink a lot of fluids. When they left Green Bay, it was 35 degrees. Now they get here, and it's hot, hot, hot. And you always run the risk of cramping, especially late in the game, so you got to push the fluids.
If you believe in a home field advantage, the Dolphins choosing to wear the white, as is almost always the case, and the Packers in the away dark colors. Lindo Mare set to kick things away and get us started for Week 7 here in South Florida this afternoon. Great to have you along with us. Two teams with just one win under their belts thus far, and while the Packers were expected to rebuild in 2006, certainly there has been a lot of heat, figuratively and literally, put on Nick Saban and the Dolphins for the 1-5 start that they're off to this year. Mare kicks it away, and we are underway at Dolphin Stadium. Vernon Morency with the return for Green Bay up across the 25-yard line between being tackled at the 26. And that's where Brett Favre in the offense will start their afternoon. Since September 27, 1992, the Packers have started only one man at that quarterback spot. Everybody knows about the consecutive games started streak. The Dolphins during that time have chewed up 14 quarterbacks, among the higher totals elsewhere in the National Football League. Amon Green lining up in the backfield with Favre. 1st and 10 for Green Bay. Ravel Martin, the man in motion before the snap. He lines up at the spot, and Favre looking to pass in his first opportunity down the sideline, and a wobbler and a flag on the play. It was intended for Donald Driver. He was covered by Andre Goodman, and they picked on that right corner spot right out of the gate, JC.
Well, I think Donald Driver is going to be the guy that gets caught for pass interference here. Goodman was in perfect position. Donald Driver just pulled him backwards trying to jump over.
Pass interference, offense, number 80, 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Indeed, referee Gene Steratore gets Donald Driver for the call.
You can see Goodman just in bump and run coverage. He's in perfect position here, and then watch Donald Driver at the end. Right there, his right hand and his left hand trying to pull by Andre Goodman, and that's offensive pass interference every time.
Travis Daniels not available to start at right corner, and that's why Andre Goodman gets the call there despite a gimpy shoulder. Favre looked in his direction on their first opportunity. It backs him up to 1st and 10 now. 1st and 20, rather, that is, from the 18-yard line. The hand is to Amon Green, trying to run between the tackles, and not a lot happening there. The Packers up front would have had their hands full at 100% strength. It's going to be an even longer afternoon if the rookies can't hold up. Chad Clifton, as JC mentioned, out with a game-time scratch. 3 rookies starting in front of Favre on the offensive line. Backs and receivers, Robert Ferguson and Corn Robinson gone for the year. That receiving depth may be gone, but Amon Green back at tailback today after missing 2 games with the hamstring. 2nd and 18 now. Play action. No, it's actually Green that keeps. Favre selling that play action well enough to psych us out in the booth, to no one's surprise. Channing Crowder bumped the ball carrier out of bounds. The Dolphins' defensive front very good against the run this year. Kevin Carter still hasn't missed a game in 12 years. He goes today despite a knee tweak. Ex-Packer Vonnie Holliday lines up at defensive tackle as well. The linebackers, Zach Thomas is the NFL's leading tackler so far this year. And in the secondary, again, as we mentioned, a little dinged up at right corner, Andre Goodman starts for Travis Daniels.
Watch Jason Taylor in these situations working against the rookie Darren College, now playing left tackle.
Noah Herron, the ball carrier this time, and he is tackled shy of the 30-yard line. The Packers punting unit will make its way onto the field early. Again, Channing Crowder made the hit for Miami. We mentioned how good the Dolphins are against the run, JC. They play that hybrid 3-4 defense, and this is the first time the Packers are attacking a defensive unit that plays this style.
And you're doing it with 3 rookies who've never seen it before. And Those guys up front are very good. Jason Taylor licking his chops with Darren Collins.
John Ryan's punt almost blocked. And it's down to the 37-yard line before return man Wes Welker can get his mitts on it. So we get our first look at Joey Harrington and the Miami offense. Harrington's first start came in a loss versus Green Bay as a rookie back in 2002. His NFL debut had come just a couple of weeks earlier against the uniform that he suits up with currently.
They've had a problem starting too slowly in ball games. Look for them to take some shots early down the field to Chris Chambers, see if they can get an easy score.
Chambers is the man in motion. Play action, and the pass is dumped off. Caught by the tight end, Randy McMichael, for a Miami first down. Miami's offensive line was shuffled last week against the Jets, and they keep L.J. Shelton and Damian McIntosh in place. They did not allow a sack last week for the first time all year. Backs and receivers for Miami. The big play man, Marty Booker, is back today. He was inactive last week at New York with a chest injury. It's a gain of 19 on the catch and run by Randy McMichael, so 1st and 10 Miami. Triple receiver set Sammy Morris in the backfield with Harrington. Into the corner and thrown out of bounds, intended for Chris Chambers. Let's meet the Packers defensive line up front. Quick corner pass rushers with Aaron Kampman and Kabil Baja-Bilamila combining for 8 sacks this year. Green Bay's linebacking core, a unit that doesn't blitz a lot. First rounders Nick Barnett and A.J. Hawk play a lot of man, and we'll see if that's the case today. And the Packers secondary, they have struggled this year against the pass. Ex-Florida Gator Marquand Manuel feels it's because they've been on the field for too long this year. And it's to Ronnie Brown after a gain of maybe 3.
You know, this is big for Miami. They've not scored a touchdown in the first quarter all year long, let alone first drive. They've only scored 3 points all year long. So if they can get ahead, and that's something that they haven't been able to do very much this year, is play from ahead. That's when their defense can really be more effective. And right now, this is a big series for them offensively.
Chambers in the slot. Wes Welker, the man in motion here. And on 3rd and 10, Harrington out of the shotgun. Pressure, and Harrington is sacked. Charles Woodson came in on the corner blitz. Aaron Kampman had his mitts on him. And that'll bring on the Miami punting unit.
Well, they're not going to score on this drive again. You got to be able to pick up the blitz. Watch Woodson. He's going to sneak in, and then he's going to come. They come from both sides. They call that the Thunder Blitz. They just don't pick it up. Randy McMichael in the backfield. He just lets Charles Woodson run right by him.
Well, after we get through extolling the virtues of Miami's re-solidified offensive line, they did not allow a sack last week. Harrington's dropped in their first possession here today. And Charles Woodson, good to return punts this afternoon as well. Slips between a couple of tacklers and is finally brought down at the 13-yard line. Underway at Dolphins Stadium, Packers and Dolphins scoreless.
These low fares to your favorite vacation destinations start at just $59. Book yours at Southwest.com.
Stick 'em, ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna run the beatbox in the best fucking for you if you vote for me. Done.
Now you can make your Pro Bowl picks from just about anywhere. Text the word PRO to 7777 with your Sprint or Nextel service or vote at NFL.com.
Is voting 692 times too much?
No.
Did you vote yet?
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41.
Now, Miami is just one of 4 NFL cities that Brett Favre has not thrown an NFL touchdown in. He's going to try to get rid of that little blemish here this afternoon behind a very young offensive front. Noah Herron, the man in motion, they split him out wide. Looked like motion before the snap, but the pass is caught by Donald Driver. We talk about the young line, JC, a trio of young interior offensive linemen, that is, just making handfuls of starts so far.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him. And then Darren College, who played guard up until now, he switches back to left tackle, position he played in college at Boise State. But he's playing against Jason Taylor today, so that's going to be an extremely tough challenge for him. And then for those guards also, you got Bonnie Holiday in there, Keith Traylor. Those young guys, they're going to get a schooling today inside.
2nd and 3 after the reception by Driver. They find him again here, a first down for Green Bay. First and 10 Packers.
You know, with young guys up front, they're going to throw the ball extremely quick. They're not going to allow the rush to get to Brett Favre and confuse those young guys. In a 3-4, you blitz guys, zone blitz from different places, and you confuse veterans. These young guys, they're definitely going to have some busts today, and they understand that. That's why they're going to throw the ball quickly.
Bubba Franks, a man in motion, and a hand to Amon Green, who is stuffed after maybe a gain of a yard. You know, the Packers, when given a full complement of experienced receivers, have liked to play 3 receiver sets. In fact, against St. Louis in that last game before the bye week, they played 3 receiver offensive sets in nearly 2/3 of their possessions, of their plays, and they really don't have that luxury here this afternoon.
Well, they're still going to have to try it. Lavelle Martin's going to be the number 3 receiver. He's going to have to be the guy that does it. He's in the game now, and you know, he's got to step up. This is the National Football League. Even though you're a rookie, it's time to play.
And the penalty before the snap.
False start. Number 40 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
They flag Brandon Myree for the penalty as we check in for the first time this afternoon with Chris Rose for a game break in Los Angeles.
Oh, Matt. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers have won 8 straight games against the NFC, including that win in Super Bowl 40. Today, down in the Dome, and it's Michael Vick. He said he wanted to play with a Marvin Harrison-type receiver. How about just getting into a tight end named Algie Crumpler from 22 yards out, and the Falcons lead it 7-zip. Back to Matt and JC.
Chris, thanks. Tough to beat at home are the Atlanta Falcons, whether Vick can throw the ball or not. 2nd and 14 for Favre. He dumps it off to Myree, who is met immediately by an angry Miami defense. Zach Thomas, the NFL's leading tackler.
And when we talked to Brett Favre last night, he said that this team is just not good enough right now to overcome its mistakes. And when you get in long yardage situations because of penalties, we saw the false start there, then that's not what this offense is built for right now. Because Brett Favre wants to get the ball out quicker, and when you do that, you guys are either throwing 3-4 yard passes, and those guys are getting tackled. It leaves you in 3rd and long.
3rd and 10 now. Green Bay looking for their second first down of the drive. Bubba Franks in the backfield with Favre out of the shotgun. Can't get out of the way, and a flag on the play as Favre loses the football. Jason Taylor is the most active in this 3-4 Miami defense. He's the guy that every Packer to a man.
There is no foul on the play. The rookie on the field. It's a fumble. Comes from Miami. First down.
The fumble holds up, and the Dolphins will take over, knocking on the the door.
You see Jason Taylor just using his hands there, knocking Darren College's hands off of him. That allows him to come around the corner, strip Brett Favre. Watch the right hand of Jason Taylor. Right there, he just knocks down that left hand of Darren College. Now there's no leverage there. He gets to gets to Brett Favre untouched, basically.
David Bowens was there to make the recovery as well. We talked about this yesterday with everybody in a Packer uniform. The guy they've got to identify on defense first is Jason Taylor. Sometimes he's standing up, sometimes he's in a three-point stance. This is Harrington to pass and a touchdown for the Dolphins. Their first quarter TD this season. Marty Booker for 6.
It's a lot easier to score when you don't have very far to go. Credit that to Jason Taylor and that defense, giving this offense great field position. You come in, you fake the run in the red zone, and everybody bites on the run, and Marty Booker's wide open in the end zone. It's Marty Booker. He just fakes like he's going to block on Charles Woodson. They get the safety to bite on the run. Nick Collins, and it's wide open.
7-0 Miami. Part of Nick Saban's goal today, start strong, and thanks to Jason Taylor, the Dolphins have a touchdown lead at home.
I'm back. Let's go get him, Chuck. Hey, show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, bird lady. Show me what you got. Show me what you got, baby. Hands up and wave, and wave, and wave, and wave. What you got, little mama? Show me what you got, bird lady. Show me what you got, shawty. Show me what you got, baby. Hands up and wave, and wave, and wave, and wave. Show me what you got. Movie in the spot, try. Told you I was hot. Tell these other dudes it's a wreck. The King's back. Expect everything.
Every time I see her passing by, all I do is hang my head and cry.
The totally new Jeep Compass. With 30 miles per gallon on the highway. It's freedom in a whole new dimension. Last night, Pujols and Macomb struck first. Now the Cinderella Tigers look to even the series. Game 2, tonight on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Budweiser Select. Brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything.
Strong start for the Miami Dolphins, on top on a 7-0 lead. And now what am I, some tackle dummy here? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, this training tool. This is what Jason Taylor did to Darren College. Darren College tries to block him. He just knocks that outside hand down, and now he just runs around the corner on him, and he forces the strip and sack on Brett Favre. Darren College has got to be stronger with his hands and punch Jason Taylor.
Green Bay takes over at the 20-yard line, down a touchdown in the first quarter. Keep your eyes on Jason Taylor. He is a handful.
Dodge Caliber's versatility and great gas mileage make it perfect for a road trip. All the right features make it even better.
Looking for something.
Where's the colt?
I got tired of people taking it. So I got a Visa check card. And if this gets stolen, I'm not liable for any fraudulent charges. And I get all that money back.
Bragging.
The Visa check card. Safer, better money. Life takes Visa.
Hey, baby.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just wanted to talk to the most beautiful girl in the world, that's all.
That's sweet.
It's true.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just nice to know that I'm the only man in your world. I am the only man in your world, right? Baby?
Switch to the network with the fewest dropped calls. Singular.
Baby, is it Earl?
Singular. Raising the bar.
Cat got your tongue? Earl got your tongue?
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Visa. Go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa. By State Farm. Great service and great rates. You can get it all from State Farm. And by Singular, raising the bar.
Well, we're only about halfway through the inaugural quarter, and the Dolphins have already exercised a season-long demon for the first quarter touchdown to take an early lead. Favre's pass is batted down. Brett gets it back and throws it out of bounds. And a flag in the backfield. It's going to come back against Brett Favre. Brett tried to complete a pass to himself there, and that is likely the call. He's had Jason Taylor in his face all too often already this afternoon.
Yeah, they're going to have to give Darren Colley some help over there, but I'm wondering.
Legal forward pass. Number 4 offense. The penalty is declined. Second down.
Jason Taylor again working on college, and this is going to be all day long, and now he just bull rushes him, plays the ball, and now he comes back up the field after Favre catches the deflection by Vonnie Holliday. Right here, that might have been Trailer inside, or Dan Wilkinson, I think 95, knocked that ball up in the air. But they're going to have to give Colley some help with Jason Taylor.
So on 2nd and 10, Amon Green trying to go around the right side. Met for no gain once again. And a flag on the play.
Holding. Defense. Number 95. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
They get the 13-year vet Dan Wilkinson on the play.
And Jason Taylor, they move him around quite a bit. Now you see him in the stand-up position. From this position, he can drop in coverage, he can rush. They don't know what he's going to do in this position. They normally move him anywhere on the defense, up and down the defensive lines, but when you've got a rookie at tackle, the left tackle in particular, they're going to keep him there the majority of the time.
And another whistle. Well, that was official timeout. They just want to make sure the 1st and 10 placement is where it should be on the 26-yard line. R4 for his first 4, though he has had duress much of the afternoon. Time to throw. That one's batted in the air and should have been picked off. Intended for Bubba Franks. And it was Will Allen, the left corner, that had the gift for a pick but couldn't get under it in time.
Now Jason Taylor switches sides and he's working against Mark Tauscher, but that ball, again, even though they're in the shotgun formation, that ball is coming out quickly, so those corners and those linebackers are going to start to sit down on those short routes.
Well, they're making liars of us immediately. We talked about how the Packers might try to incorporate the run a little earlier here this afternoon. That has not been the case. Favre has dropped back to throw on 3/4 of the play so far called by the Pack. This is Amon Green, their most successful run from scrimmage thus far.
And Matt, and I'm sure not having Chad Clifton in there affected their game plan and their thinking, because you've got to be able to get those guys blocked up front if you're going to try to run the ball. And the college has struggled so far at that left tackle spot, so they've got to try to find other ways trying to use the pass to set up the run. That's why they're going 3 wide receivers and splitting tight ends out, trying to spread this defense out.
3rd and 3, driver in motion. Revell Martin split wide. Favre looks that way, and a first down pass is caught by Amon Green. Check that, it's Donald Driver. Driver making the first down reception, defended by the safety, Ronaldo Hill.
And this is what they have to do. They have to try to move the pocket, get Brett Favre outside, and then it's just a quick throw to Donald Driver. But now you can see there's nobody in the face of Brett Favre, and so they've got to try to move that pocket, get him some clean looks down the field.
Noah Herron checks into the backfield with Favre on 1st and 10. David Martin, the tight end, dancing around behind the line, and a quick slant is past Greg Jennings. Boy, Jennings has been such an outstanding addition to the Packers this year. The rookie wideout from Western Michigan has really made an impact this season. Backfield swap now as Brandon Myree checks out, and Bubba Franks, the tight end, comes back onto the field. So a double tight end set here for the Pack on 2nd and 10. Again with Herron in the backfield with Favre. And Brett looking to throw on 2nd and 10. Intended for Driver and a flag down. Donald Driver might have sold some contact there between he and Will Allen.
Holding, defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You see Will Allen in bump and run coverage right here. Donald Driver does a good job of getting his hands on Donald Driver. It's just past the 5-yard mark there. You can see they're throwing the flag immediately, but Will Allen, by far their best cover corner, he will match up with Donald Driver all over the field unless they go no huddle. You can see Donald Driver's coming down to the left, and Will Allen is following.
So 1st and 10 from the Packer 45. The pitch to Amon Green. He's looking to pass the football. And tackled and wrapped up after no gain by Keith Traylor.
Those are the things you have to do when you're struggling offensively. You have to try to make some plays some kind of way. If you can't do it conventionally, you have to try to trick them from time to time. That time they were going to run the halfback pass with Amon Green throwing it down the field to Donald Driver, but it wasn't there. But what it does is now it makes the Dolphins defense put that in their minds, and now they always have to think, watch the trick play.
2nd and 10, a 3-receiver set down for Green Bay. On the play fake, here's Taylor again. Favre loses the football again, but the Packers recover. Jason Spitz, the rookie guard, was in the right place at the right time, and it's been too much Jason Taylor so far for the Packers.
Yeah, it has, and now they should have seen enough by now. What they've got to do is they've got to chip him, or they've got to leave a back in to help on Jason Taylor. Darren College cannot block him one-on-one. Now he sells it up the field, and then watch him pull back under. He just pulls College through, and now he's unblocked again, untouched to Brett Favre, and causes another fumble. They can't afford to do. They've seen enough. You've got to block 99.
99 and a half career sacks for the Dolphins' all-time leader. 2 of them this afternoon. Favre on 3rd and long, and the pass is just out of reach, intended for the rookie wideout Revell Martin. So after a drive that was helped by some Miami misgivings, the Packers will have to punt it away here with 4:38 left in the first quarter.
When you got a guy coming free so quickly like Jason Taylor has been, it doesn't matter what you run. It doesn't matter if you're in shotgun or whatever. He's going to wreck the play.
Wes Welker back to receive the John Ryan punt. And it's boomed into the end zone. Miami takes over at the 20. A 56-yarder by the former CFL standout. Jason Taylor all over the field here at Dolphin Stadium.
Dodge Caliber
offers versatility and great gas mileage. Make it perfect for a road trip. All the right features. Make it even better.
Here's how it works. Get the nation's slimmest smartphone at a very slim price. The Q. With easy access to email and Windows Mobile. It's the stylish way to work. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
How much adrenaline can you handle? Fox tomorrow. 2 of television's most thrilling shows come together on one can't-miss night. Freeze! The new Fox Monday. First at 8 on Prison Break. 8 made it over the wall. 6 are left standing, but none of them are ready for what happens next.
Breaking out was just the beginning. Now it gets a little more interesting.
Then at 9 on Justice, when a scandal becomes a headline.
We've got to do something. The kid's innocent.
You need the best defense money can buy.
If you got the right lawyer with you, we've got the greatest legal system in the world.
All new episodes of Prison Break and Justice begin at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Stay with us on Fox. Game 2 of our doubleheader is coming up right after the Packers and Dolphins. Many of you will see the Vikings and Seahawks, some the Redskins and Colts. That's coming up next on Fox. Colts looking to join the Bears at 6-0. Are the Bears who they thought you'd be, Jason?
If you want to crown them, go ahead and crown them, man.
7-0 Miami. Morris and Brown in the backfield. This is Ronnie Brown, who broke out his first 100-yard rushing game of the year against the Jets last week. A.J. Hawk gets to him for the Packers after a gain of maybe a yard. Let's check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
All right, Matt, the Jets, they went 20 straight games without a first-quarter touchdown. Today they've got 2. Chad Pennington to Justin McCarron's, and apparently the Lions DB starring in this week's episode of Lost. Make a play out there. It's 14-0. Back to Matt and JC.
Chris Rose, huh?
Chris Rose getting a little froggy on the Lions. You know why? He's a Cleveland guy. They can do that. On second down, and the closest to that pass was Charles Woodson. It was intended for Marty Booker, and now you've got Marquand Manuel and Charles Woodson doing the Alfred E. Newman who-me pose.
Pass interference. Defense. 21. Spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Now they get the 8-year veteran Charles Woodson, who was questionable this week with a thigh problem.
Well, these guys play a lot of bump and run coverage, and when you do that, you're getting your hands on the receivers at the line of scrimmage, and when the ball is thrown, if you've got your hands on the receivers, they're going to call it. Now, me being a former defensive back, I say that's a good play, but if you're going to go by the rules, it's pass interference.
I was going to ask you that because we've seen a couple of calls go that way already this afternoon, one for each team. Randy McMichael in motion off play action. Here's Harrington down the corner. And the catch is made. Chris Chambers with the big play for Miami. They're saying he was out of bounds. The former Wisconsin Badger, who was passed over by the Pack in the 01 draft, almost burned him here early.
But what the Dolphins are doing is they're being aggressive, and that's not something that they've been. And you can see he's out of bounds. He doesn't get 2 feet in bounds. That right foot never comes down. But last week, they didn't throw the ball down the field until the second half, and in particular the fourth quarter. They wanted to be more aggressive. They needed to be more aggressive, and that was their emphasis coming in. We're going to throw the ball down the field.
And after the veteran corner, Al Harris there. So now on 2nd and 10. Ronnie Brown. And again, not much between the tackles as he's wrapped up by Marquand Manuel. We talked about Marquand Manuel a little bit earlier. He's playing in front of a lot of folks here at home. He was raised about 5 minutes from Dolphin Stadium, and as a result, they hit him hard for tickets here today. Over $4,000 in quote-unquote comp ducats for the family. He's one of 18 kids. He's got over 60 nieces and nephews.
And he had to buy the tickets from the Dolphins. And there was a package deal, so we had to buy some Tennessee tickets also. He gave those away to the Boys and Girls Club.
You can only afford to play at home once or twice a year. This pass is complete for a first down. Joey Harrington going down the middle of the field. And once again, finding one of his wideouts, the rookie receiver Derek Hagan, third rounder out of Arizona State this year.
Now the Dolphins got some issues on their offensive line. Also, their center, Rex Hadnot, went out of the game, and Kendall Jaycox, who's a guard, moves into the center position. So they may have some issues with snap exchange and things like that. That's something we got to keep an eye on.
On first down, Harrington with plenty of time. Pass is caught. Wes Welker with the reception. 6 catches for 56 yards at the Jets. And Welker continues to rack up yardage. He leads the NFL in yardage without having caught a touchdown pass this year.
Welker's a guy, he's a slot guy. As you can see, he's a small guy. He's not a burner, but he's quick in and out of his breaks. He can drop his hips, get in and out of his cuts, and separate him. That's what makes Wes Welker so good.
The 6th play of the drive, Aaron Campman coming into the face of Joey Harrington. He tried to dump it off to Darian Barnes, but Campman was coming too fast.
And that's a great play by Joey Harrington. It's an incompleted pass, but he had the presence and sense of mind to throw the ball to Barnes, and it should have been completed. You're going to see right now, Campman's right in his face, and no panic. He knows exactly where Barnes is supposed to be, throws the ball right there, but Barnes doesn't make the catch.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for Miami. Morris in the backfield with Harrington. Over the middle, and the pass is caught by Wes Welker. First down, Dolphins. Joey Harrington, 5 of 8 to start the afternoon.
And he's a lot more comfortable in this system. He understands the protection. He told us last year in Detroit, he never really understood the protection. It was so complicated that he would always peek around, see if there was a guy that was unblocked. Well, now he doesn't have to do that. He's got the confidence in the line, so he knows exactly where he's supposed to go with the ball, and so he's getting it out of his hands quicker.
Winding down toward a minute here in the first quarter. Ronnie Brown in the backfield with Harrington. Off play action. A.J. Hawk was picked up around the corner, and it's intercepted. Brady Papinga, the second-year man out of BYU. That's the kind of big play that the linebacking core had been looking for in Green Bay.
Okay, looking good. You know, Al, with your good driving record and your son's good grades, I think we can save you a few $100.
That's great.
State Farm's got football fever.
I never get used to that.
You'll get it too.
That was excellent. They love this time of year.
To see how much you can save, call an agent or visit statefarm.com.
You're on a mission to get an amazing new TV for the ultimate high-def football experience. Circuit City makes it simple. I guess you're just what I need. That's because we've got thousands of online customer reviews that rate the hot new stuff. And right now, get no interest for 18 months on all TVs $4.99 and up. Plus, get up to 10% off TVs only at Circuit City. You're just what I need.
All across the country, fans are seeing football in a whole new way. With unprecedented access to the NFL, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fans have made NFL Network one of the fastest growing networks in television history. This Thanksgiving, join us for the network's premiere of Thursday Night Football. A new tradition begins at the place football season never ends.
Get all your gear at NFLshop.com.
Well, here's the problem with the defined system that we've talked about with Joey Harrington. Look at Brady Papinga right here. He's just lurking in the middle of the field. Well, with Joey Harrington and this defined system now of knowing exactly where to throw the ball, he doesn't always read the defense. You can see he just drops back and he throws the ball. Brady Papinga is right in the middle of the field. The receiver's not even looking. He has one of those every game, and you know that's been a problem, is turning the ball over with this Miami offense.
Each team has turned the ball over once. Amon Green for a gain of maybe a yard. And both the Packers and Dolphins are minus in the turnover differential numbers and around league trailers in those important categories. First career pick for Brady Papinga. Now, Coach Mike McCarthy told us yesterday, JC, that he'd love to get his linebacking core more opportunity at making the big play, and that certainly was one here in the first quarter.
Well, he said that that's what they needed. They have to make more momentum-changing plays with their linebackers, and those guys play a lot of man-to-man coverage, so they just have to find some ways to get them involved.
Delayed handoff to Amon Green, and again, not much of a gain as that stingy run defense led by Kevin Carter is there for the stop. The end of the first quarter with the Dolphins on top 7-zip. Fox NFL Sunday returns after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
The road to Super Bowl 40 had its twists and turns, its highs and lows.
Jerome Bettis fumbles.
Follow the road again with the Road to 40 DVD collection from NFL Films, featuring for the first time ever the actual complete game broadcasts of the Steelers' 4-game odyssey through the playoffs and Super Bowl 40. All the plays, all the players. You won't miss a single moment of game action. Touchdown! Own the remarkable Road to 40 DVD today. Get it now at NFLshop.com.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
When my mom had Parkinson's, she needed a nursing home, like this one. But there are thousands of seniors who can get forced out of their own homes into nursing homes, when really, like Arlen Doler, they just need a little extra help. So now we're bringing the care to Arlen instead of the other way around. It's called Family Care. It lets seniors stay in their homes, and it saves the taxpayers money.
It's the right thing to do.
And we're doing it.
Announcing Cash Cube, an exciting new game from the Wisconsin Lottery. A game that has over $1.75 million in total prizes. A top prize of $30,000 and 3 separate games on each ticket.
Family Guy returns with some wild new episodes.
Tell me about it. Go.
Well, the boys join the military.
Aren't you a little young to join the Army?
No, I have that, Webster disease.
And there are guest stars galore, like the brilliant Drew Barrymore.
What is that?
Trust us, it'll blow your mind.
You know, no huge hurry, but I'm sort of out of juice. Bone dry.
Family Guy. New episodes return 2 weeks from tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Men of America, are you looking for a show on Thursday night to call your own?
Smell that meat. How is this not a cologne?
Well, brother, the show is Till Death. Returns Thursday, November 2nd on Fox.
Hi! Go Dolphins!
Maybe you can audition next year. Maybe you can get a job down there.
7-0 Miami through the first quarter. Favre and the Packers back on the field around midfield here. And the pass is caught. David Martin, the tight end, laying out beautifully to make that reception. The 6th-year man out of Tennessee. That's a gain of 19. First down, Pack.
That was a great catch by David Martin. This is what they've got to do. They've got to get their tight ends incorporated in the passing game. Work the middle of the field. You can see great job of laying out by Martin. That's a big tight end. They've got him. They've got Bubba Franks. They've got some very capable tight ends that can work the field.
On the play fake. Favre has an open Donald Driver who breaks a tackle and is moved out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
Donald Driver, he's the guy that Brett Favre is going to look to whenever they need to make a play. Donald Driver is his security blanket. They've been together a long time. He's comfortable with Donald Driver. He knows where he's going to be, when he's going to be there. And when he throws the ball, Donald Driver is going to make every available chance and effort to make the catch for him.
Driver just a handful of yards shy of 5,000 for his career now. On 2nd and 1, they hand the ball to Amon Green. Zach Thomas making the tackle for Miami after a first down.
You know, Matt, they want to get the running game going. They've got Amon Green back. And we talked to Amon. He said that he's healthy. He didn't know if he'd be able to carry the ball 20 or 25 times today. He said he'd be able to do that. But if he did that today, next week he would probably be very sore. So they've got to spell him.
Vernon Morency in the backfield now with Favre. And Morency, the ball carrier here up the middle. They're going to rotate Morency and Heron in with Amon Green. The veteran tailback would love to have north of 20 carries today, but Amon told us yesterday that he plans on being used diplomatically here this afternoon.
Yeah, you've got to be smart about it. He hasn't played in 2 games. He's got to get his conditioning back, and he's got to get the confidence in those hamstrings, first of all. And Heron and Morrissey, they've done a decent job. Heron had over 100 yards last week rushing.
This is Noah Heron again trying to run between the tackles, and again they run right into the big hybrid defender Jason Taylor, who certainly was the first quarter story here at Dolphins Stadium. Taylor had 3 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 sacks in the first quarter alone.
They've got to find a way to get him blocked. They've got to chip him. They've got to do something with him. And now the Packers, they've got too many guys in the huddle.
Flag on the field.
Legal substitution, 12 men in the offensive huddle. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the kind of thing that's going to drive a coordinator nuts. First-year offensive coordinator for the Packers. There's head coach Mike McCarthy, but Jeff Jagosinski, a Milwaukee native, a Cheeser by birthright. That's McCarthy's first-year coordinator. That's what Jason Taylor will do to you. And 12 now for Favre in the pack. Rolling left, looking for the end zone, thrown into coverage, and out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Greg Jennings.
Again, they try to move the pocket to give Brett Favre some time. Brett Favre just throws that ball down the field into coverage. And, you know, sometimes he's going to press a little. And he admitted to us that he tries to do too much at times, and he throws the ball into coverage. And watching film of Brett Favre, and even on that play right there, he's going to throw the ball into coverage 3-4 times a game, and the Dolphins are going to have a chance to pick those balls off.
Dave Rayner is 1 of 2 from this distance from 42 yards out to put the Packers on the scoreboard, and it's good. Green Bay breaks through. 7-3 Dolphins here in the second.
This is our country.
This is our country.
This is our truck. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Coach, would you agree it's a little hot in here for a mock turtleneck?
I wouldn't disagree with it. I wouldn't disagree with it.
Coach, my buddies tell me when it's this hot, nothing's more refreshing than a cold Coors Light.
You know something? They're right sometimes. More often than not, they're right.
Coach, doesn't this guy's hat look awesome backwards?
A lot of guys might not have reversed that.
Taste the cold of Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Did your place kicker make this onion dip?
It didn't look like he made it from where we were standing.
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by Lowe's. For all your home improvement needs, Lowe's. Let's build something together. By Microsoft, software for the people-ready business. By Chevrolet, America's brand Chevy, and American Revolution. And by Reebok, 1,800 players, 1,800 stories, one outfitter. Reebok, official outfitter of the NFL.
Well, with the Miami offense about to go back to work, it gives the Dolphins an opportunity to maybe stitch up Jason Taylor. He got hit in the chops earlier. They were attending to his chin, and they're going to go take a look at him on the trainer's table here. Wes Welker back to receive the kick. He starts the run back at his 4-yard line. And the Dolphins' all-time leading kickoff returner is tackled around the 20. Harrington and the Dolphins offense back to work. We'll be right back here after this.
We're playing San Diego. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and puked in between. And that's when I knew it.
I felt like I was playing with little kids and I was a grown man, like Superman.
I ran the fastest 40 at the camp, and I was still 15 years old. So that's when I knew I was going to be pretty good. Oh, yeah.
1,800 players, 1,800 stories, one outfitter.
Grandma's here, too.
Hey.
Hi, Carol.
We're here.
They're coming. Get ready during Decor Days at Lowe's. Come in now and save 10% on all installed carpet, plus get free carpet padding. Save 10% on all mirrors, even our newest styles. Get 20% off all Levelor special order blinds and shades. And 20% off all custom size now blinds and shades that are custom cut for free. Make your home so inviting you'll want to invite the whole gang. Decor Days at Lowe's. Hurry, these offers won't last. Let's build something together.
This may be too much for a blunt instrument to understand. Any thug can kill. I want you to take your ego out of the equation.
So you want me to be half monk, half hitman?
I knew it was too early to promote you.
Well, I understand double O's have a very short life expectancy.
Casino Royale, rated PG-13.
Each year, 10,000 innocent people are convicted of a crime they didn't commit. 10,000 innocent people locked in jail while the real murderers are free to kill again. 10,000 reasons why I will do whatever it takes to prove my client is innocent.
Justice returns following Prison Break at 9, 8 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Now, the Green Bay Packers have defeated the Miami Dolphins only twice in 11 tries over the years, a series over the years, but the Dolphins have thoroughly dominated. They lead early here in this one, just 7-3. Ronnie Brown trying to get around the corner, and he breaks free for a gain of maybe 3 yards before being tackled by Ryan Pickett.
See, they're running to the left side. This week, last week, they ran the ball to the right side the majority of the time behind L.J. Shelton and Vernon Carey, and Ronnie Brown had the best game he's had so far this year. You can see they're trying to change the tempo up now. They're going with the no huddle.
A lot of targets for Harrington. One of them drops the football, and that's the second time Harrington's been picked off this afternoon. The middle linebacker, Nick Barnett. It was tipped by Randy McMichael, and it gave the Packers linebacking core a gift of an opportunity.
And that's something else that's been a problem for this Miami Dolphins offense is dropped passes. Last week they had a tip ball that got intercepted that led to points, and you couple that with the bad throw that Joey made earlier, and that's 2 interceptions already. I mean, that's a catch that has to be made by McMichaels, and the ball just gets tipped up to Nick Barnett. But now they put their defense in an adverse situation again, and they give the ball to the Packers on the 30-yard line.
All 10 points in the game so far have come off turnovers, and part of the offense, they take over at the Miami 30. Amon Green in the backfield with Favre. Driver in motion on first down. Brent looking his way. The pass is complete to the fullback, Brandon Myree.
You know, Matt, we talked about what's wrong with the Miami Dolphins. Well, just 13 points a game. That's the lowest average of points in a game. And look at the drop balls, fourth most in the NFL, and it's not only the drops, it's the balls that are batted up and intercepted, and then defensively, they just can't stop anybody, especially in the back end. 41% on third down that they're giving up, and so when you couple the turnovers with not being able to stop anybody, it equates to a 1-5 record.
Amon Green up to the 15-yard line. And a first down for Green Bay. They credit Green with a gain of 6 yards on the play. But the Packers really want to get that running game established with the new zone blocking scheme, and it's something Amon Green is familiar with from his days at Nebraska. This all takes time.
It takes a lot of time, even though he's familiar with it. The guys up front, it's all new to all those guys, and it's all a matter of fitting in the right spot.
On the play fake, Favre makes Taylor miss finally and throws it through the back of the end zone. Jason Taylor still standing in the backfield saying, how did that old guy make me miss like that?
Jason Taylor again. Going to come off the edge right here, and this time he's working against Tauscher, and they block down, but then when they run the boot, Jason Taylor, he's unblocked again. If you're going to block anybody on that offensive line, when you're on that defensive line when you're passing, you got to block Jason Taylor, especially when you're booting towards him.
Miami in the nickel here on 2nd and 10. Quick slant that's dropped. That's been a problem for the Packers as well. Let's check in Los Angeles with Chris Rose. Chris.
Matt, Donovan McNabb has the most TD tosses of anybody in the NFL, and he adds to his total. Just problem is it's for the other team. Rondé Barber returns at 37 yards for the score. They have picked off McNabb twice, and the Bucs lead it 7-zip. Back to Matt and JC.
Chris, thanks. One of a couple of possible upsets in the making. Kansas City has a 14-3 lead at home over the Chargers. Houston leading Jacksonville in the second. Favre and the Packers trying to take their first lead of the afternoon here. Into the end zone for Driver, tipped and incomplete. Boy, Brett is not afraid to throw that jump ball.
That's not always a good thing, though, Matt, because now that ball is very nearly picked off. You're going to watch Hill playing deep in that zone. Just goes up, and again, like you said, it's just a jump ball, and that's not always a good thing. You know, Brett Favre is used to being able to make those kinds of plays, having somebody on the other end make those plays for him also. But with this team, as young as they are, those guys aren't there anymore, so he's got to be a lot more careful.
34-yard kick for Dave Rayner. He stays perfect at this distance, and a couple of Packer field goals tighten it up to a one-point affair.
Hey, Chuck. I need access to data.
Okay.
It's in Germany.
Okay. Oh, Bill, do I need to worry about hackers?
Bill?
Click on that app.
Wow.
Billed it last week.
Please leave a message.
Bill! Where's Bill?
I wish I had
A program or
some kind of software.
I'm envisioning a mobile workforce. Our new CRM app is fully mobile. Good. How do I coordinate different warehouses, you know?
You know?
I know.
Bill,
Glad you're here. I think I just killed the printer.
When your infrastructure is ready for anything, your people are ready for anything.
The owners are anxious to sell.
Maybe can we get a waterfall in the bedroom?
Anything for my babies.
And what about the pool?
We can put a gazebo in the middle of it with dolphins. We'll take it.
The asking price is $5 million. Do you have financing in place?
Yes. A lot of financing in place. There they go.
Monopoly is back at McDonald's.
Oh.
You could win $50, $5,000, up to $5 million.
Where's Mama gonna stay?
The guest house is 100 yards away.
In the guest house.
The most important part of any business walks through the front door every day. Make them ready. Microsoft. Software for the people-ready business.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by Chevrolet, America's brand, Chevy, an American revolution.
Oh, no, not that guy. That's the guy that tackled Torrey Holt.
He's all over. He's everywhere.
A 7-6 lead for Miami. 9:50 left in the half. Wes Welker, the deep man, and it's well into the deepest part of the end zone. Miami will take over at the 20-yard line. How you holding up in the heat, partner?
Yeah, I've been trying to hydrate and push the fluids and everything, just like the Packers have talked about all week, and it hasn't affected them yet. That's for sure. That really it's been a game of turnovers. Every score has come because of a turnover, and that's something that both teams stress they've had too many of. And obviously right now the Dolphins have one more than Green Bay. That's why they're losing the game.
Well, part of the difference here in this matchup, at least on paper, is that Packer Nation is a bit more forgiving to a 1-4 start than the folks here in South Florida have been to Miami's 1-5 start. Had it not been for the Miami Hurricanes' great behavior a couple of weeks ago, I think you'd be hearing even more grousing about the Dolphins getting off to the slow start. People aren't happy down here.
Well, they had so many expectations coming into the season. They won their last 6 games last year, and everybody expected them to do big things. Some people expected them and predicted them to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl, and then you start out 1-5. You're not scoring any points. It's all been frustrating, especially for the players.
Something that Nick Saban's certainly not used to. Only 3 losing seasons in 26 years in college. Under pressure, Harrington dumps it off and finds Wes Welker. Close to a Miami first down. A gain of 11 on the play before Welker was stopped by A.J. Hawk.
We talked about their lack of scoring coming into this game today. They had only scored 78 points total, and that's fewer than any team in the league that's played 6 games. And the talk this week is that Arizona has scored 33 more points than them. Baltimore scored 32 more, and they both fired their offensive coordinators last week for lack of production. And that's a situation that Saban said he's not going to get into right now.
3rd and 1, the quick handoff out of the shotgun to Ronnie Brown, and that's going to be very close to a Miami first down. And indeed, without a measurement, first down Dolphins. Ronnie Brown is certainly a part of the story, too, here in terms of Miami's offense trying to find itself. He's the guy this year.
Yeah, he is, and this whole team is trying to find themselves, and extremely frustrated after the ball game last week. Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor were frustrated.
Joey Harrington frustrated there, and under pressure throws it out of bounds. Fans here hoping for a roughing call on Aaron Campman.
Not going to get it, but going back to those guys after the game last week, Zach Thomas, out of frustration said this team is the worst team in the NFL, and they're embarrassing to the city, the state, the organization, the former players, and they kind of recanted some of that this week. But after the game, when you have all that emotion going and you're losing, when you expect to win, you say things from the heart. And even though he recanted them, you got to believe that they really feel that way.
2nd and 10 now for Harrington and the Dolphins. A hand up the middle. And a gain of 4 yards on the hand between the tackles. Ronnie Brown with another carry. It's 7 attempts for Brown and only 13 yards on his first 7 carries. This is not the 127-yard type afternoon that he enjoyed against the Jets on the road last week.
Well, now you see that there's an emphasis on running the ball early after those 2 interceptions by Harrington that have led to points. They want to come out and now try to establish the run, but on 3rd down here, they've got to throw the ball again.
Sammy Morris in the backfield now, and a passing down for Harrington out of the shotgun with a 4-receiver set. And he underthrows Chris Chambers that time. Al Harris had good coverage for the pass.
Well, the problem these receivers are going to have today is they are going to see a lot of man-to-man coverage and bump and run at that, and not a lot of teams play bump and run man-to-man coverage very much, but with the Packers having Al Harris on one side, Charles Woodson on the other, they get up in the face of those wide receivers and they challenge them at the line of scrimmage.
Charles Woodson back to receive the Donnie Jones punt. Woodson at the 22 as a sideline. Loses his hat and hangs on to the football just past the 30. the sound effects guy.
Hey, get down.
Someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
This is our truck, the all-new Chevy Silverado.
Football fans have become too reliant on one side. So what'd we come up with?
Luck.
Left. I propose you use nickel when you need 5 defensive backs, or dime when you need 6.
But I think it's about time we show a little love to offense. Offense.
Let's issue a continuance on the defense and give the offense a tryout this season.
For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite.
Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. It's a textural taste sensation. To get crunchy, chewy, and cheesy, think outside the bun.
How rich do you want to be? Get ready for the first game show in the world where there's no limit to how rich you can get.
Do you want to be rich?
Yes! The Rich List premieres Wednesday, November 1st on Fox.
Fox tomorrow at 8. Prison Break returns and a new chapter is about to begin. They thought $5 million would buy them freedom.
It's all here. My ticket out of here.
But it might cost them a lot more.
I want the money.
No! An all-new Prison Break. Join the manhunt at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Brett Favre has thrown for 59 yards on an 8-for-15 start to the afternoon. He takes over here at the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 pack. Good protection for Brett this time, but it's thrown wide of Donald Driver. It was 14 years ago this week that Dolphin legend Dan Marino threw 4 TD passes in a 38-17 win over New England. In that game, Marino tied Johnny Unitas' record of 17 games with 4 or more touchdown passes. Marino ended his Hall of Fame career with 21 such games. Brett Favre, 19 games with 4 or more TD passes. One of a number of milestones within reach for Favre, and it's Marino he's trying to catch for so many of them. This pass is caught by Donald Driver, a 1st down for Green Bay as Driver goes over the 5,000-yard mark in career receiving. Of course, it's with a cast of different receivers that Brett Favre has been able to put up the numbers that he's been able to put up. But as we mentioned, JC, it seems like Dan Marino is the only guy that's between Brett Favre and just about every passing record in the league. On 3rd and 1, Amon Green is stuffed. So they only credited Dreyer with 9 yards on the reception, and this will bring up 3rd and 1.
Wow, just no push at the line of scrimmage. Inside, big Keith Traylor, just nowhere for Amon Green to run.
It was on 3rd and 1 that Green was stuffed, so here comes the punting unit for the Packers.
Watch the push inside. Keith Traylor just penetrating and just grabbing Amon Green by the legs, and not even close.
John Ryan on once again. Wes Welker signals for the fair catch at Miami's 15-yard line. He might have had a little room to run there.
In 2 weeks, Family Guy returns with new episodes and guest stars galore, like the brilliant Drew Barrymore.
What is that?
New episodes return 2 weeks from tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Miami's offense back to work, starting from the 15-yard line. Neither team has been the beneficiary of what you'd call good field position through the first part of the season. As the Dolphins begin here, backed up into their own land. And Ronnie Brown breaks off a big one. 1st down, Miami.
Brown says he wants to be the guy to carry the load. He hasn't been that guy since college, his sophomore year. He wants to be a 20-25 carry a game guy. You can see he just bounces the ball outside, makes Al Harris miss and turns it up the field. But in order for this team to get going offensively, Ronnie Brown has to be a big part of it.
First big play of the afternoon for Miami. 3 receivers set now. McMichael in motion before the snap. And the hand is again to Ronnie Brown. A gain of maybe a yard. Ryan Pickett was there to make the stop for Green Bay, the 6th-year man out of Ohio State. 115 tackles last year for Ryan Pickett. That led all defensive linemen. He'll run the picket fence on him.
You couldn't wait to get that
Don't
out.
get caught watching the paint dry. Sammy Morris in the backfield now with Harrington. Little pump fake. And that one thrown at the knees of Morris. And it's probably a good thing because there were a number of Packer defenders there, including Nick Barnett and Patrick Dindy.
That fooled nobody. They tried to play action screen. They tried to fake the run and then run the screen to the backside, and Nick Barnett was all over. And it's hard to do that against the Packers because they play so much man-to-man defense that those linebackers are man-to-man with the running backs. So no matter where that running back goes, they're going to go and squeeze up and hug up to him, and it's tough to run those screens.
On 3rd and 9 now, a 4-receiver set for Harrington out of the gun. Miami picks up the blitz, the deep ball, and a wide-open target. Marty Booker, the big play guy, back active this week, and the ex-Bear who has tormented the Packers for years makes a 40-yard catch. First down, Miami.
Just beats Patrick Dindy, just man-to-man coverage, and then Nick Collins, number 36, is late coming over. You see the free safety right there, Nick Collins. He doesn't get a read and jump on the ball, and so he's late, and now he's also trailing. Booker's wide open.
The biggest play from scrimmage on the afternoon. Ronnie Brown has had some success getting around that right side. More success here before being pushed out of bounds by Al Harris. Boy, after that catch, Marty Booker went down immediately. We won't speculate as to whether he hurt himself or if he's dehydrated or cramped or what, but let's take a look at it again.
You see, as he lays out to make this grab, he falls down, and remember, he missed the last game with the chest injury. He has a tendon, and you can see right there, as soon as he gets up, he's holding that shoulder and that chest, and that's why he missed the game last week.
After the 8-yard run by Ronnie Brown, here he is again up the middle of the field. There hasn't been as much success for him in that direction. That's good for a first down, however.
Well, if you're going to have success against the Green Bay Packers defense, you want to throw the ball down the field. They've got the worst pass defense in the league, and they've given up time after time big plays down the field. And we saw that one to Marty Booker, but coming into the game, they've given up 28 passes of 20 or more yards. And, 5 plays have been for more than 40 yards. So if you're going to beat them defensively, just throw the ball down the field.
And we talked to Marquand Manuel yesterday about that very topic, and he said he feels like their defensive unit has just been on the field too long, and that's where they're getting burned on the deep ball. A measure to confirm the first down carry by Ronnie Brown.
Well, and it's also the style of defense that they play. I talked about how they play a lot of bump and run coverage outside of man-to-man, and it's a risk-reward type of thing. And the risk is that a guy's going to get run by, and now you give up a 9 route, a go route.
Defensive coordinator Bob Sanders plays that man coverage. Harrington on the play fake. And he overthrows his target, trying to get it to Randy McMichael in coverage.
That's a dangerous throw there. You're throwing it right into double coverage. Brady Popenga right under Randy McMichael's. It's a situation they can't afford to turn the ball over. You're feeling the pressure, just throw it away. You can see there's pressure coming. It's a big shot by KGB. And that ball right there, you know, throwing it into double coverage. Turnovers have killed him all year.
Harrington just 2 of his last 8 on 2nd and 10 now for Miami. The short pass. And the catch is made by Ronnie Brown out of the backfield.
That's what you've got to do. You've got to just take what the defense gives you, especially in the red zone, because everything is so condensed and compressed. There's not a lot of room to throw the ball. This is where you got to be able to run it. In the red zone, you have to be able to run the ball because it's so tough to throw. And you do throw it, you either throw the quick fade or the check downs, especially on 3rd and short.
Clock winds down to the 2-minute warning with Miami knocking on the door.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Visa. Go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
What if success comes all at once? Can we handle our own good fortune? Can we reap what we sow? When demand hits, will we receive it with open arms? Yes, we will.
Dynamic networking from AT&T proactively identifies changes in traffic volume and responds in real time, so Kara can turn high demand into big success. The new AT&T, your world, delivered.
Someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
This is our truck, the all-new Chevy Silverado.
House is the cutting edge of TV drama, and now it's at a new time, 9/8 Central.
I'd die for her.
Dude, she's in a coma. Who are you trying to impress?
Tuesday, October 31st. Will a deadly secret force House to sacrifice one patient to save another?
Tell them, or I will.
Plus, the one complication House never expected.
With the right to remain silent.
All new House at its new time, 9/8 Central, Tuesday, October 31st. Viewer discretion advised.
Miami looking for some separation here prior to halftime. 7-6 Dolphins are score from Dolphin Stadium. The 9th play of the drive coming for Harrington. The Packers have been pretty good within the red zone defensively. Harrington flushed out and dragged down by A.J. Hawk.
Well, that's not what Joey Harrington does best. Run with the football. He's got to make a quick decision here. He actually had Welker up top, and he just comes off of him, and now things break down. Now just throw the ball away. Don't risk a fumble. Don't risk anything right here. A.J. Hawk is running him down. You just throw the ball away. You see A.J. Hawk with that right arm trying to strip that ball out of there.
The loss of 4 yards on Green Bay's second sack of the afternoon, so now a 32-yard field goal attempt for Olindo Mare. Mare just 1 for 2 from this distance so far, and he has not been as automatic as in years past. Miami will take a timeout with 1:07 left in the half. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt Menefee, Terry Howie, and Jimmy will be along with scores and highlights. And the Fox Sports ticker, as always, will have all the latest stats. We mentioned earlier a couple of upsets in the making. San Diego trailing by a couple of touchdowns in Kansas City. Houston 10-0 better than Jacksonville at halftime. Maybe this is that weekend that we've been looking for, where a lot of upsets change the pecking order a bit. So now Mare on to kick the 32-yarder. Kick is up and good. Now the Packers will have about a minute left. We'll see if they try anything offensively here getting into the locker rooms at half. Miami with a 10-6 lead here at home. Coming this February, the world's best drivers return to Fox to go door-to-door. The Daytona 500 is coming up in February right here on Fox. Well, what do you think? 1:03 left. Do they try to move the ball a little bit here at the end of the half?
Yeah, well, I think you've got to give it a try. The problem that they're going to have is that they're shorthanded at the wide receiver position. And this is the situation where you typically would go 3-4 wide receivers. They can still do that, but the guys that are coming in are young, inexperienced guys that have never caught a pass in a real game before. So now you're dealing with young rookies who've never played. Then you run the risk there of a guy running the wrong route, not catching the ball and turning the ball over and giving up an easy score. So I think you take a couple shots down the field, see if you get positive yards.
So the Pack will have around a minute's worth of offense here to end the half. This is Vernon Morency across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Well, Brett Favre has certainly taken advantage of lesser time to accomplish drives, as has this man. Favre and Marino will be forever linked atop many passing records career. Brett today should join Marino as the only two with 55,000 or more yards. Brett just 17 career touchdowns behind Marino. 7 wins back of the Hall of Famer. And a lot of people have suggested, JC, that these are all things that Brett wants to achieve before he hangs it up.
Yeah, one of the reasons why he came back, there's a lot of speculation as to why he came back. And, obviously he can still play the game, not to the level that he played at earlier, but the records. Does he actually want to pass Marino in the record book?
And on to Amon Green will indicate that perhaps they'll play it safe here getting into the locker room. A gain of 5 by Amon Green. Clock rolling with 40 seconds and ticking. Only 4 men up front for Miami. Brett steps up in the pocket, has an open receiver, Greg Jennings. Bubba Franks, the former University of Miami Hurricane. So Bubba Franks gets it up near midfield. And timeout taken by the Packers.
That's what they were looking for there. If they could make a play down the field, well, now they'll continue to stay aggressive. They've got 25 seconds left. Now they're going to try to get into field goal range. If those plays hadn't worked, then they would have been content with letting the time run out and getting in to the locker room at halftime. So now we'll see them throw the ball down the field now on this play, I'm sure. Maybe a screen, but something to try to make a big play, get 15 yards and get into field goal range.
Boy, score here would sure be so big for the Packers. They've been a more productive offense in the first quarter than in any other quarter, and they were limited really to not much at all early in this game. The Pack will look to switch it around today and come out firing in the second half. 25 seconds left here.
Donald Driver's in the slot. That's the guy he'll be looking for.
Favre out of the shotgun. They pick up the blitz, spread over the middle of the field. Should have been picked off. The second-year man, Travaris Tillman.
Told you, in times when they need a big play, they're going to look for Donald Driver. He's just going to try to run through the middle, the seam of this cover 2 zone, and the ball's just overthrown. Great coverage here. And then safety's coming over. That ball is almost picked off by Tillman.
Favre 10 of 19, 86 yards in the half. Trying to get Dave Rayner into field goal range. His long is 54 yards. And that one past David Martin. But you just get the sense watching Brett, especially in moments like this. Where's Robert Brooks? Where's Sterling Sharp? Where's Antonio? Where are his favorite targets? He'd be happy to have Corn Robinson out there healthy.
Well, it makes it easier when you've got those guys out there, of course, because the balls don't have to be as accurate. You know, Brett's a gunslinger, and that's how he's been his whole career. You know, he's never been an extremely accurate guy. He's always had guys down the field that will go and make a play on the ball. And, you know, right now he doesn't have those guys.
Snap and fracture. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Scott Wells snapping it off a little too quick.
And, you know, going back to that conversation, you know, that's one of the reasons this team has gotten in so much trouble is the turnovers. And, you know, although Brett's only thrown 5 interceptions this year, you know, he's a gunslinger, and he's thrown the ball in some areas that, you know, a quarterback typically is not going to throw the ball.
Well, Jason Taylor's been his big problem today. 3rd and 15 now. Packers line holds up nicely. And that pass is hung onto by Greg Jennings, almost decapitated on the play, and the Packers quickly spend a timeout.
There's a guy making a play for you, a guy going up to catch the ball. Greg Jennings, he's only a rookie. Watch him run this deep end route. He's going to go up and do a great job catching the ball with his hands and concentrating. But you see up front now, they're double teaming and triple teaming Jason Taylor so that he doesn't get to Brett Favre and Brett has time to throw the ball down the field.
You know, we talked about all the great receivers that Brett's had the luxury of throwing to in the past. Greg Jennings is a guy who he has developed a very quick chemistry with. And unfortunately, he's hobbling off the field after that 14-yard first down catch.
And that's big because we talked about coming into the game. He only has 2 wide receivers that has ever caught a pass in the NFL, and Jennings was one, even though he's a rookie. And now he goes out, so now you bring Ruvell Martin in. Guy's never caught a pass.
8 seconds on the clock. The Packers have their final timeout. It's a 4th and 1 play. And the pass is caught by Ruvell Martin.
There you go. No time like the present to get your first catch. But that's the thing in the National Football League. It doesn't matter if you're a backup, if you haven't played. When your number's called, you're expected to produce. And, you know, they've got Ruvell Martin and Chris Francis, 2 young guys now on their roster, and they expect those guys to play. You got to come in, you got to play, and you got to play well. If not, they'll go look for someone else.
Well, the Packers will have an opportunity at the kick here. 4 seconds left before halftime. Dave,
we will review the previous play. The previous play is under review.
And I didn't see a challenge flag thrown. That came from upstairs under 2 minutes, though. Well, they'll take a look upstairs to see if, in fact, Ruvell Martin was in bounds when he made that catch that would spot up Dave Rayner for what would be a 55-yarder. That would be a career long for him. But Favre doing a nice job to at least give the Packers a chance to score before half.
See, Ruvell Martin's just going to run this stop route, and the ball's thrown outside. He goes up to get it. The left foot is in. It's hard to see that right foot, but, you know, if anything, he got forced out of bounds. If he had not been forced out of bounds, that right foot probably would have come down in bounds.
Ruvell Martin, we talked about how he made his first NFL catch
here. The
here.
ruling on the field was a force out, which is not reviewable. The pass is complete by rule on the field of a force out. It will be first down Green Bay.
Quality control referee J.C. Pearson all over that. Nicely done.
And again, Will Allen is just going to grab that right leg and just throw it out of bounds right there. And the ruling is that if you're forced out of bounds and that foot would have come down, that it's a catch.
Dave Rayner has been good from 42 and 34 yards. His career long, 54. This is a 55-yard attempt, and the Dolphins take a timeout.
A 30-second timeout.
Trying to ice the kicker on this 84-degree afternoon here in Miami.
Not much icing going on today, that's for sure.
And not only would this be a career long for Dave Rayner, this would be a franchise record for the Packers. There's something about playing in the 13-degree wind chill at Lambeau, and that ball gets awfully heavy. Cheesehead Nation travels nicely throughout the NFL. You see Wisconsinites all over the place here in Dolphin Stadium today.
They're not going to find any snow down here, as hot as it is today.
This would put Dave Rayner in the Packer record book. And that's before the kick. Boy, that's too bad, because it's up and through.
Well, what the Packers did defensively, they shifted their defensive line, and then the Green Bay offensive line moved. So now they get a false start on Green Bay. That's just a strategy. That's a great job, and I'm sure that's something they talked about during the timeout. Just move along the defensive front, try to see if you can get a false start.
Boy, what a shame this will be if it comes back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Disconcerting signal. Number 54 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, Dave Rayner just wants the kick good. That's all he wants there. They're going to make him kick it again as they get Zach Thomas for disconcerting what?
Signal. And what Zach Thomas did is he yelled shift. And that made his defensive line shift. But what the ruling is they're saying is that's what caused the Green Bay offensive front to move, is that shift call by Zach Thomas.
Are you sure he yelled shift? Take a look at the movement again before the kick.
And watch. And you can see he's just telling everybody to shift over. And that forces them to move it. And with that unsportsmanlike penalty, that's 15 yards.
See, the difference there, folks, is when you do that on your PSP, when you're playing, NFL 07, it's not a penalty. This will make it a little easier try for Dave Rayner. A 40-yard attempt now. He's already been good from 42. And he kicks it through with another flag on the field.
Now the Dolphins are cheering.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 96 offense. 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Michael Montgomery was called for a face mask foul as he tries to plead his case. But meanwhile, Dave Rayner's kicked 2 field goals that won't count, and now they're going to make him kick it again and back him up again.
And right back to the spot that he was at to begin with. So now they get a face mask. You're going to see it up top. Right there, you see that left hand.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's yeah, you got him there, right? The videotape is pretty damning. Tough to argue a case with that one, Michael.
And now they take him out, and now they're right back where they were to begin with.
Officiating crews trying to figure out what they can call next to back Dave Rayner off. They're talking about runoff, actually, about the clock.
Yeah, the discussion here is you get a penalty. Last 2 minutes, do they run the 10 seconds off here? And in the half.
Dave Rayner has been the offense so far. Again, field goals for Rayner.
And that was during the play. So since it was during the play, I would think that they are going to run the time off. If it had happened during a dead ball, then they would respot it. I'm sure that's the conversation, that's the discussion going on down there.
Rayner good from 34 and 42 officially, and then he made a 55-yarder and a 40-yarder that won't count.
Jason Taylor's running in, and all the Dolphins are taking off.
That's it. Boy, what a shame. The Packers caught a break, and then the Dolphins caught a bigger break, and that's how we get into the locker rooms at halftime with Miami on top.
On the field goal attempt, the time has expired. The 4 seconds has expired to 0. with the personal foul by the offense. By rule, the half will not be extended by an offensive foul. Therefore, the half is over.
Gene Steratore makes it official. 10-6 Miami at halftime. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
No matter how you cut it, you can't script October. Last night, Albert Pujols powered the Cardinals to an impressive Game 1 win.
Two-run shot, Albert Pujols.
Now, the city and its fans must once...
Halftime in Miami, a place where Brett Favre is winless and a place where he's never thrown a touchdown pass. And part of that today, his frustrations have been accounted to Jason Taylor. Joey Harrington really hasn't gotten on track either. He does have a touchdown strike to Marty Booker to his credit for the game's only touchdown. But in terms of the Packers, it's been too much Jason Taylor and actually too much pass rush in general. 10-6 Miami's our score as we begin the second half. JC, what needs to change for the Packers in the second half of this game?
Well, they just have to find an identity. And when we talked to Brett Favre yesterday, he said they don't have an identity. They still don't have one. Are they going to run the ball? Can they pass the ball well? You don't know. And right now, they're just completely out of sync. They're just trying a little bit of everything. But I think you've got to feed Ahman Green in the second half.
You know, in terms of Miami, their attack seems to be a bit more multifaceted. But Harrington, to his very talented receiving core, just hasn't clicked yet.
No, they haven't. And they haven't established the run either. And the problem with the Miami Dolphins is turnovers. They had the two big interceptions. They killed drives. Take that away, and really they were moving the ball pretty decently. They just have to get more consistent.
10-6 Miami is our halftime score as the Dolphins will receive the kickoff here to begin the second half. I don't think any Packer was more frustrated than kicker Dave Rayner in the first half of this one, who had a 55-yarder pulled back. Wes Welker returns the second half kick to the 20 as we check in with the third member of our broadcast crew, Drew Smith.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Mike McCarthy just told me he's happy with the defense, and he feels that they've got the Jason Taylor problem under control. They're trying to move guys in and out. Nick Saban, he says Joey Harrington, confidence is still high. Not his fault on some of those interceptions. If it hits a guy right in the hands, you can't help those deflections. Send it back upstairs.
Drew, thanks. The Jason Taylor problem, it sounds like the Andromeda strain. I mean, that's something they're going to be writing about all throughout the state of Wisconsin tomorrow, regardless of what happens in the second half. Harrington under center, hands to Ronnie Brown, and after a little delay, picks up a few yards to begin the half. We take a look at first half stats, and it's not much real eye-popping here. In terms of rushing yardage, JC, as you mentioned, neither team really on track. Both Harrington and Favre under 100 yards in the first half. And time of possession slightly in favor of Green Bay.
And really, the only stat that really matters there is turnovers. 2 for the Dolphins, 1 for the Packers, led to points.
For the latest in fantasy sports stats, log on to foxsports.com. All your fantasy information from week 7 of the NFL. 2nd and 7 now on the play fake. And Harrington has it tipped, and it's picked off by Charles Woodson. Touchdown pass! Intended for Randy McMichael. And that's how the Packers get into the end zone for the first time this afternoon.
And again, another tipped ball by Randy McMichael, and we've seen a few of them today by Randy McMichael. The first interception was because he dropped the ball and tipped it up in the air. This time, again, on the boot, comes off of his hands, and now Charles Woodson has an easy run to the end zone.
A pick and 23-yard touchdown return by the veteran corner. Charles Woodson was questionable this week because of a thigh injury he sustained 2 weeks ago against St. Louis. He just practiced on Friday. He missed most of practice this week.
They needed him to play because he's also their #1 punt returner, let alone best corner.
It's the Packer defense that gets them on the scoreboard here to start the second half. Green Bay with its first lead of the afternoon.
There's an exciting sound in travel. Get exclusive low fares sent directly to your desktop by downloading Ding at southwest.com. There's an exciting sound in travel. Get exclusive low fares sent directly to your desktop by downloading Ding at southwest.com.
Introducing the all-new Extended Length Expedition. Now with more than twice the cargo space behind the third row.
Dad! Hey, son.
Man, I wish you guys could be here.
Yeah, well, we do too.
It's a long way, I know.
Well, let us know how it goes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Bold moves. They happen every day.
The road to Super Bowl 40 had its twists and turns, its highs and lows.
Jerome Bettis fumbles.
Follow the road again with the Road to 40 DVD collection from NFL Films, featuring for the first time ever the actual complete game broadcasts of the Steelers' 4-game odyssey through the playoffs and Super Bowl 40. All the plays, all the players. You won't miss a single moment of game action.
Touchdown!
Own the remarkable Road to 40 DVD today. Get it now at NFLshop.com.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. By Sirius Satellite Radio, the best radio on radio. Hear every NFL game every week. By FedEx for all your shipping needs. And by the all-new 2007 Ford Expedition EL.
Charles Woodson's third career interception return for a touchdown, and his first since 1999. His second year in the league as a Raider has put the Packers on top for the first time this afternoon, 13-10.
Well, they don't get much easier than that. Just a tip ball in the flat, and you just catch it and just jog into the end zone. But again, another crucial error by the Dolphins.
Each team has struggled with tip passes this year, something we talked about when we signed on, and it's certainly been a talking point this afternoon. Wes Welker returns the kick at the goal line and fighting just to get back to the 20.
Well, on this play, Randy McMichael, he's got to catch the ball, but you see Charles Woodson right here. He's just playing zone coverage, but Joey throws this ball a little too hard. You see McMichaels just reaches out and tips that ball up in the air, and it's just an easy catch for Charles Woodson.
The third interception of the afternoon charged to Harrington, and that one certainly costly. So for Joey Harrington now, in 2.5 starts as a Miami signal caller, 7 picks. First and 10 Dolphins from the 20. Jump ball into the corner. And he threw it past his intended receiver. Marty Booker almost made the play. Covered again by Charles Woodson.
Again, that tight man-to-man bump-and-run coverage. Going to get a lot of fade routes outside. And when you have two good corners like that, Woodson's going to run stride for stride with Booker right here. Now, that ball has to be perfectly thrown in order for it to be completed. Just a little too far. Makes it tough to throw. You got a guy right all over you, right in the receiver's face.
Second and 10 now. Harrington, 8 of 19, 110 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks. Ronnie Brown for 4. A.J. Hawk made the tackle for the Packers. Hawk had a big first half, 6 tackles in the first half to lead Green Bay.
Well, he's an active guy and a big play guy, and that's why they drafted him so high. And today, he's not coming off the field. He was coming off previously on third downs, like it is now, but now they're leaving him in as that nickel linebacker because he's so fast sideline to sideline.
Sammy Morris in the backfield here with Harrington. Welker in motion on a 4-receiver set for Miami. And the pass is complete. This time he laid it right into Randy McMichael for a first down. And we talked to A.J. Hawk yesterday, and he's a guy who is very aware of the significance of the uniform he wears. He loves being a Packer. He loves the Cheeseheads. He loves Packer Nation. In fact, his parents have bought a home about 5 minutes from Lambeau Field because, as he explained to us, he's a newlywed, and his dad didn't feel like he wanted to interfere when they came to watch Packer games in Wisconsin. So they have really embraced the whole culture of the Packers franchise. On the play fake. Harrington's got a receiver. That's Chambers, and he's overthrown. Al Harris had the coverage for the pack with Marquand Manuel giving help from the safety spot.
Again, high risk, high reward for Green Bay. And that's why they've given up so many big plays through the air, because, again, bump and run, and not very many teams do this anymore. But in order to complete this ball, it has to be thrown perfectly. And when you get up there and you're in a receiver's face, you throw the timing of those routes off. And now your quarterback has to really be accurate on those throws. And Joey just hasn't done that today.
2nd and 10 now. Justin Field, the tight end, is split wide. And a little slant is caught by Randy McMichael. The all-time leader in tight end receiving yards here in Miami. In fact, he was the Dolphins' leading receiver in the loss at New York last week. Harrington has looked his way a lot this afternoon. Three receptions for 33 yards for McMichael. On 3rd and 4 now. And the pass is complete and then dropped. Well, they whistle it dead. Sammy Morris made the catch and then had to turn awkwardly. That's when the ball popped out. Brady Papinga actually was moving the other way, but they whistle it dead.
Well, they got good pressure on Harrington with Papinga, and Nick Barnett's in coverage. You're going to see pressure coming off the right side right there. Papinga just up the field and forces Joey Harrington to throw the ball quickly. Now Nick Barnett closes, and good job with that left hand, just raking that ball out of there.
Well, the Packers added a strip drill to their practice sessions this week prior to the game. Just got the punt away. And there's a corner for Woodson before he's tackled at the 36-yard line. Brett Favre leading, back to work here in the 3rd.
Hey, over here. Why don't you switch to our network? We're just like them.
Are you reliable?
Excellent question.
How about for email or downloading music?
Why not?
Only one wireless network is America's most reliable for calls, downloads, and emails.
That is a problem, and we are working on it.
Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Introducing the new Family Value Meal from Pizza Hut. Start with 2 medium pizzas topped any way you want them. Add breadsticks and cinnamon sticks and a 2-liter of Pepsi, all for $19.99. You always get more when you go for the good stuff.
Super Duty, the most capable pickup in America. Bold moves. They happen every day.
This Thanksgiving, NFL Network invites you to our premiere of Thursday Night Football. A new tradition begins at the place football season never ends.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Watch John Madden break down the games exclusively on VCast, only from Verizon Wireless.
1st and 10 for Brett Favre and the Packers at the Green Bay 35-yard line. 11:37 left in the 3rd quarter. A defensive touchdown giving the Packers their first lead of the afternoon, and all kinds of people moving on the line for Green Bay.
False start. Number 72 offense. 5-yard penalty. Down.
That's the rookie guard, Jason Spitz. Let's check in with Drew Smith.
Hey, guys, Greg Jennings got hit on that final play there in the end of the half. He is now in the locker room getting x-rayed. They're x-raying his ankle, and so now down another guy on that wide receiving core.
So that leaves only Donald Driver. as the only established target for Mike McCarthy and his offensive unit. Both Chris Francis and Ravel Martin have caught their first NFL balls this afternoon. The hand here to Vernon Morency. And from Drew Smith, we now check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles. Chris.
All right, Matt. Donovan McNabb's favorite target today, Rondé Barber. Not a good thing if you're Eagles fans. The #1 offense in the league being shut down and shut out down in Tampa Bay. It's 17-0. That's Barber's second pick and return for a touchdown of the day. Back to Matt and JC.
Well, maybe Rondé thinks if he can intercept a couple of balls today to keep his brother in the game. He said on the pregame show today that there's no way Tiki's going to shut it down this year. We shall see. Favre on the quick pass dropped by Bubba Franks. And a flag after the play.
They're going to give Will Allen for taunting. See, they're discussing it right there. Will Allen knocks that ball out.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 15 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It wasn't number 15, it was number 25. Right there, Will Allen, you can see just clapping, a little trash talking going on right there. They're really trying to cut that down in the league. That was one of the points of emphasis coming into the season. And even though it wasn't much right there, they got Will Allen for it. But you make a good play, you stop them on third down, and next thing you know, you give them a first down.
At the Packer 48-yard line now. And after the long count, play action, Brett keeps it. Everybody bought it defensively. A lot of running room and a lot of time for Favre, who runs for a first down. You talk about selling a play fake.
And that's something that they haven't seen a lot of lately, is Brett Favre actually pulling the ball down and running. You know, he's getting up there in age. He doesn't run the ball a whole lot, but when it's this wide open on the boot, you can see he has no choice but to turn it, pull it down, and run it. The reason why it's so wide open is Miami plays a lot of man-to-man coverage also, so those guys are down the field with their backs turned to Brett Favre, so he just runs it.
First big play on offense for the Packers today. Vernon Morency in the backfield with Favre. They pitch it his way. Morency trying to get around the corner, and the former Northwestern high school product from here in Miami picks up a couple before being shoved out of bounds by Ronaldo Hill. Vernon Morency was supposed to be a little better fit for the zone blocking scheme, as opposed to Sam Congato, who was such a popular player last year, traded to Houston for Morency. As the Packers continue to try to evolve that zone blocking scheme. It's not quite run to daylight. You know, it's not quite the Lombardi rule blocking game, but it's something that, they're learning.
Well, the league is evolving to that. It's a kind of a copycat league, of course, and a lot of teams have had success with that zone blocking scheme. And really, it's just getting the linemen to understand what they have to do. They have to be a lot more mobile, a lot more athletic, try to push the front side, cut off the back side, give the running backs a lane to run through.
This is 2nd and 9 now. And Morency in the backfield now in motion. Empty backfield for Favre. They pick up the blitzers, and the pass is caught by Donald Driver. Channing Crowder made the tackle for Miami. Donald Driver has gone over 5,000 receiving yards for his career here this afternoon. He's made a reception in 70 consecutive games, but who is Donald Driver? Childhood nickname, Quickie. He's a DVD collector and a big fan of Fred and Lamont Sanford. You might not have known that Donald Driver is an aspiring poet. Favre lets it fly into coverage. That's Driver! Incomplete! Donald Driver almost made a magnificent catch in double coverage.
And he's telling Mike McCarthy to throw the red flag and challenge the play. But again, this ball thrown into double coverage. Ronaldo Hill running under him, and Donald Driver somehow gets his hands on the ball. It's hard to see from there, but he thought he made the catch.
Boy, that's an awfully tough one not to review. And there's the red flag. There it is.
And it looked like from that last angle that Donald Driver had his arms under the ball. He cradled the ball in so that ball never touched the ground.
That's a big play touchdown and absolutely worth Mike McCarthy's challenge. The officials are go under the hood. Is it 6 for the Pack? We'll find out when we return right after this.
I was making room for my daughter's swing set. I was playing in the dirt. I was taking the ponies out for a ride.
When you hit that 250,000-mile mark, you'll remember exactly where you were in a Ford F-Series. Because with more trucks on the road with 250,000 miles than any other brand, there's nothing tougher.
I live in the rarest of places, where won't can grow up to become will. Here we believe everything's possible because if you work hard enough, it usually is. So we pave our streets with optimism, building hopes on effort and determination, knowing that in the land of will, opportunity really does live just around the corner. Where there's a will, there's an opportunity. Powered by Quickstar.
Taco Bell's Cheesy Gordita Crunch. Warm flatbread covered in 3 melted cheeses, wrapped around a crunchy taco and topped with a zesty pepper jack sauce. It's a textural taste sensation. To get crunchy, chewy, and cheesy, think outside the bun.
FBI, what do you want? Same old stuff. No one gets hurt. Peace on Earth.
He's a total sociopath.
Let's go nail these guys. Do something like that again, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna rip your heart out.
Something you said?
Standoff returns at a new time, 8/7 Central, Tuesday, October 31st on Fox.
Own the groundbreaking series.
I'm getting my brother out of here.
Prison Break on DVD today.
Well, Gene Steratore is still under the hood looking at what might well be a 34-yard touchdown strike from Favre to Driver. We'll take a look again.
You look at the replay, looks like Donald Driver's going to have his arms under the ball. He doesn't have control there, but now he cradles that ball in. That ball never touches the ground. It looks like he's got both arms under the ball right there, trapped against his body, and just rolls over with it. Then he has possession right there.
And as soon as he got up, as you mentioned early, JC, he was looking at his coaching staff to say, let's bring that red handkerchief out onto the field. The Packers so far this year are 0-2 in challenges. This one would appear to be well worth their while.
And when we look at the throw, you know, it's typical Brett Favre. Unconventional. Look at his back foot. He's falling backwards, just throws it up in the air into double coverage, and just waiting for a guy.
Review. The ball never does hit the ground. The ruling is a touchdown. Green Bay.
Listen to the Cheezers here in Miami. It sounded a little bit like Lambeau for a moment.
They needed to make a big play. Look at Brett Favre there. Yeah, that's carry his man right there, because that's a guy making a play for you. And that's what they needed, somebody to step up and make some plays. That's what Brett told us, and he just threw that ball up into double coverage, allowed Donald Driver to just go make a play for him.
30th career touchdown grab for Donald Driver. He becomes only the 11th Packer to reach that number in their storied franchise history. And for Brett Favre, his first ever career TD toss in South Florida. And the Packers will open up a 20-10 advantage here in the third. A weight off his shoulders with that touchdown toss.
Super Duty, the most capable pickup in America. Bold moves. They happen every day.
The Visa Business Card gives you financial tools to help reduce paperwork, increase efficiency, and maybe even save a tree or two. Your business is your life. Life takes Visa.
Hey, Coach, you're a fan of the Coors Light Frost Brew Liner, right?
Darn right.
Wouldn't you say it locks in that Frost Brew taste?
I can say it with confidence.
Coach, would you say the Frost Brew Liner rocks?
I think that's probably as well as I can state it. I don't know.
Every Coors Light can has a specially designed liner to lock in that refreshing frost brewed taste.
Coach, I started lifting again.
Can you tell?
I don't see any changes that would be visible.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Well, people can say what they want about whether Brett Favre should have come back or not, but this is what it's all about right here. He still enjoys playing the game. Hugs Mike McCarthy there. He gives Donald Driver the old fireman's carry. And that's what it's about, man. You have to still love to play the game.
Wes Rucker has a seam and is tackled at the 39-yard line after a very good return that'll put the Dolphins in their best field position after a kick all afternoon. Brett vacuuming himself off this afternoon. 2 weeks from tonight, the Simpsons return all new with their scariest treehouse of horror yet. It starts 2 weeks from tonight, 8/7 Central, right here on Fox. Job of the Homer. People look forward to that Simpsons Halloween special every year. 1st and 10 for Harrington. They begin the drive at the 39-yard line. With Ronnie Brown in the backfield, he faked the slant, now has it complete to Welker after a modest gain of a couple of yards.
What is that right there? I've not seen that. It's one of those. That's one of those haircut things, right? Where you cut your beard, trim your beard, and it sucks up all the hair at the same time. Made a good touchdown pass. He figures all the cameras will be on him. Got to clean up a little bit.
No gain on that last play. Harrington on 2nd and 10. That's good for a 1st down as this pass is caught by Marty Booker. So Joey Harrington completes a couple of passes to start the drive after being 5 for his last 15, and they're going to go into a hurry-up offense, which Harrington told us yesterday suits his comfort just fine.
Well, this is not their typical 2-minute drive hurry-up. They call this the red gun, where they run their regular offense out of it. They just don't huddle up just to try to change the tempo up just a bit.
One more time for Harrington than he's had all afternoon, and he dumps it off to Ronnie Brown out of the backfield who makes a man miss. A 1st down for Miami. Brown still on his feet. Nick Collins and Nick Barrett had to wrestle him to the ground after a gain of 16.
And what this red gun offense does is it gives them a little more sense of urgency, not a lot of time between plays, but it also prohibits the defense from substituting. So you catch them guys on the field, whether it's the nickel defense or base defense, and now you know exactly where to go with the ball.
3 receivers set. They hand it off to Ronnie Brown with some room to run between the tackles before being brought down by A.J. Hawk. That was Sammy Morris. Sammy Morris, the ball carrier there. Joey Harrington 3 for 3 on the drive, and this is something that Nick Saban told us yesterday, that he feels like the short to medium throw game suits him well. And to use Coach Saban's terminology, he said that Harrington has enough skins on the wall to get it done. They're not worried about missing a beat without Dante Culpepper at this point. An effective drive to this point. Harrington had a wide-open receiver and overthrows him, trying to get it to Chris Chambers.
That's one that should be completed. Chris Chambers comes wide open on that corner route. The ball's just overthrown. The other thing, when we talked to Coach Saban, we asked him about running this red gun offense and trying to change the tempo. He said that they would try it if things broke down for him like they have today, but he didn't want to really do it. He was wondering why they had to do this, why they had to wait until they got behind before they got a sense of urgency. He wanted his guys to play fast from the beginning, and obviously they haven't done that, so they're trying to change the tempo here.
The Dolphins have converted 5 of 9 on 3rd down this afternoon. Harrington out of the gun again. He had a receiver down. Al Harris had the best chance to catch that pass as he was trying to get it to Marty Booker.
With Marty Booker and Chris Chambers, they're bigger receivers, meaning they're easier to get your hands on them. You can see at the top, Al Harris right there sells that outside fake, but then he just loses his footing. Marty Booker does, and now the ball is gone.
Alindamari was good for 32 yards in the first half. This one from 40 to make it a 20-13 lead for Green Bay.
I'm going to need to go to that 4 o'clock meeting, I think. I think I should probably.
No, I'm sending it to you right now. And change my. Okay, do you want to talk to Brian? Are you going to go ahead and fax me that? And I'm about to email you the budget for next week.
You're going to find it in the.
Mr. Claybaugh!
With over 1,500 worldwide locations, even on the road, you're never far from a FedEx Kinko's. Get 20% off all signs, posters, and banners at FedEx Kinko's. Our office is your office.
I'm here to talk about the Sprint network. Assisting me is Henry Alshman, attorney. Sprint has the largest voice calling area and the largest mobile broadband network. No one has a more powerful network. It even protects us from meteors. Well, that's the word on the street.
Switch to the Sprint network risk-free for 30 days. Sprint. Power up.
We're here to stop an injustice. I didn't kill anybody.
We've got to do something. The kid's innocent.
I'm outraged. She has nothing to hide.
I am not going to let them convict you for something you didn't do.
Right now, your guilt or innocence is determined by a 60-second video bite on CNN.
In the search for justice.
Your job is to challenge the evidence, not embrace it.
I don't want money. I want them to go to jail for killing my mom.
The defense never rests.
What is taking the jury so long?
Please leave. You're killing the buzz I'm feeling from winning the case.
Justice. Catch an all-new episode at 9, 8 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Packers on top of the Dolphins by a touchdown with 6:30 left in the third. And part of Green Bay's success since halftime has been the ability to at least neutralize Jason Taylor, who was a real force before half. Taylor and the Miami defense will get another crack at Favre here. Chris Francis and Vernon Morency will let that one bound into the back of the end zone. Was it a question of finally matching up a little better against Jason Taylor? Has this young Packer line found something here in the second half, JC?
No, they're getting help. And credit the Green Bay Packers offensive coaches, especially the line coaches and the coordinator, of making sure they get Jason Taylor blocked. They got to get those guys some help. You can't single block them with Darren College. So now they've got 2 tight ends in. They're chipping him. They're bringing a running back to him in passing situations. And that's why Jason Taylor's now moving around up and down the line of scrimmage. He's not lining up in the same place every time. There he is now on the left side of the defense.
Donald Lee in motion. Vernon Morency in the backfield with Favre, and that one's dropped by Lee. Thrown behind him, incomplete. Well, 3 rookies on the offensive line for the Pack, and one of them from Boise State, Darren College, is a guy who is absolutely tailor-made for Lambeau Field. The guy is from North Pole, Alaska, population 1,800. In high school, he had to leave his car running. It got so cold when they were doing practices.
There's only one guy I know ever from the North Pole. Could it be? Could it be?
Vernon Morency for a gain of 2 yards. You never see Darren College and Santa Claus on Christmas Eve together at the same place, I guess, huh?
Never at the same time. And, we map quested how far from Miami, Florida, the North Pole is. 4,888 miles. Take you 91 hours to drive to the North Pole. I like this last turn, though. Take a right on Snowman Lane, and then you're there.
3rd and 7 for the Packers. Clark just gets it away. Oh, he hung it up there that time, hoping for some help for Ravel Martin, but that was incomplete. Darren College, the league they played in, the conference in high school, we talk about a guy being from North Pole, Alaska. One of the fields actually had volcanic ash as a part of its playing surface. I think the turf here at Dolphin Stadium has been a little kinder to him trying to line up against Miami.
And whenever you play for the Green Bay Packers, the one thing that everybody talks about is how cold it gets in Green Bay. Well, he's one guy that's not worried about the cold in Green Bay because it's going to be like summer to him coming from the North Pole.
Wes Welker takes it across the 46-yard line. That's where the Dolphins will take over. A hot one for a guy from Alaska.
Hey, baby.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. Just wanted to talk to the most beautiful girl in the world, that's all.
That's sweet.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's just nice to know that I'm the only man in your world. I am the only man in your world, right? Baby?
Switch to the network with the fewest dropped calls. Singular.
Baby, is it Earl?
Singular. Raising the bar.
Cat got your tongue? Earl got your tongue?
Protect yourself from this winter's high energy costs at Lowe's Energy Saving Days. Lowe's has what you need, from weather stripping, insulation and caulk, to appliances, and Energy Star qualified compact fluorescent light bulbs, which can save up to $50 in energy costs per bulb. Visit Lowe's.com/energy for more energy saving products and ideas. Lowe's, let's build something together. Now purchase select items and you may be eligible for a tax credit of up to $500. Visit Lowe's.com/energy for details.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC. I actually just finished a home movie.
That's so funny. I just finished my own home movie. I did it on iMovie. It was really easy.
Well, I doubt it's as excellent as mine, but I'd be happy to take a look.
Yeah, that would be great.
Roll it.
Hi, I'm a Mac home movie.
It looks really professional, right?
Well, great. Bye.
Wait.
What
about yours? Can we see yours?
Please.
Well, okay, sure.
What's up? PC home movie.
Work in progress?
Good field position once again for Miami. This is back-to-back possessions that the Dolphins have had a chance to do some scoring. Good field possession on their last drive, accounted for by an Olindo Mare field goal. So Miami starts here at the 46-yard line, down a touchdown, 5:30 left in the third. A lot more action here since halftime in this one, and that's the case in other venues around the league today as well. More on that in a moment. Ronnie Brown in the backfield with Harrington. And this is Brown breaking off a big run, a gain of 9. Fox's football coverage doesn't end when the games are over. Afterwards, stick around for the OT. Kurt Menefee, Terry Howie, and Jimmy bring exclusive interviews, extended highlights, and review the new BCS standings. The OT presented by Lowe's right after the late games on Fox.
Did you say that was Kurt Menefee? Is that what you said? That's wrong, man.
A pass is complete, and a first down reception made by Marty Booker.
Still going at it. Teaching, that's like Kirk teaching Terry some pop lock moves there, huh? Look at
the Run DMC revival act Kurt Menefee's out in front of here.
Rerun.
First and 10 for Miami. Almost a great recovery made by Chris Chambers. No flag on the play. The omnipresent hair of Al Harris there on the defensive end for the Pack.
We've seen all day that The Dolphins have tried to throw the ball outside on the go routes. Now they try to run this fade stop right here, but Al Harris is all over Chris Chambers. And like I said earlier, when you get guys playing bump and run as good as these two do it, Charles Woodson and Al Harris, the balls have to be perfectly timed.
Joey with time again, and under a little bit of pressure, overthrows Wes Welker. I don't know that Chris Rose has ever had his reggae haircut. Let's go to him in Los Angeles for a game break.
No, but Kurt and Terry are working on those moves as we speak. David Carr moving to his left and finding Owen Daniels. The Texans have dropped 7 straight games in the division, but they're beating up on the Jags 24-7. Back to Matt and JC, man.
Chris, thanks. One of a couple of potential upsets. Kansas City leading at home against San Diego. Tampa Bay on top of Philadelphia in the 4th quarter today. Here 3rd and 10, and on 3rd down again, Miami 5 for 9. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Derek Hagan, who just couldn't hang on.
No, but he should have. That's a drop ball. Derek Hagan had some drops last week as well, and that's been a problem for the Dolphins receivers. He's going to come up, run this out route. This ball has to be caught. He gets 2 hands on it. Yes, it would have been a tough catch, but that's a catch that he's got to make. If he turns his hands over, he'll probably have a better chance of cradling that ball into his body, but those are plays that have to be made if you're a winning team.
So a week after the Dolphins drop 4 in New York, 3 drops here at home this afternoon. Donnie Jones gets it inside the 10, and it's down to the 6-yard line of the Packers. Tonight on Fox, Game 2 of the World Series, the Cardinals try to take a 2-0 lead over the favored Tigers. Coverage begins live in high def at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, right here on Fox. Man, what happened last night? Anthony Reyes wasn't even on the Cardinals' postseason roster for the division series against San Diego. They pitched to Albert Pujols, and he burned him. And Scott Rowland's shoulder apparently is just fine, as he had a nice day with a double and a home run in Game 1 yesterday. A 1968 World Series rematch. The Dolphin faithful making some noise. Amon Green is back onto the field after receiving an IV drip. They hand his way for a gain of 4. And that was probably more than an IV drip that he received. He had cramped up at halftime. And Amon Green is back out there, whereas Greg Jennings is not. Jennings, who we saw injure his ankle just before halftime, is lost for the rest of the afternoon. That's certainly a big blow to Favre in the passing game.
They've got to establish the run here. They've got to run some time off the clock. They just can't go 3 and out by throwing the ball and giving good field position to the Dolphins.
Trying to do just that once again on the ground. And very little there up the middle.
What it does, it puts them in a much more manageable situation on 3rd and 2. Now you can move the pocket with Brett Favre. You can throw just the quick passes and not let the pressure get to him. So now your entire playbook is open to you. That's why it's so important. And when we talked to Brett last night, he emphasized to us that 1st down is the most important down for this offense.
The Packers are 3 for 11 on 3rd down this afternoon. On 3rd and 2. The quick drop, pressure, Brett gets it off, incomplete. He threw it at the ankles of Brandon Myree.
Just not a good play call. They're going to get pressure from the left side. You're going to see the late blitz coming in. Ronaldo Hill coming around the corner, number 24. Brett Favre just holds this ball too long. He's got to get that ball out of there. You have to expect the pressure to come. So you've got to call a play call where that ball is going to get out of there right now, so that pressure can't get to him.
The 4th 3 and out on the afternoon for the Packers. Wes Welker back to receive the Ryan punt, and it's a good one. He starts the return at the 34 and gets it almost to midfield. A flag down on the play. ...52-yard punt after a A flag will have a listen down beneath.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 96 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
David Bowen's guilty of the penalty for Miami. Stay with us for the late game. Many of you will see Minnesota at Seattle. Some will see the Redskins and Colts as the Colts try to improve to 6-0 to begin the campaign. That's the late game on the doubleheader coming up next on Fox. The three receiver set once again for Miami, down a touchdown, 2:29 left in the third. Harrington steps up, he's hit as he throws, and the pass is caught by Randy McMichael. Ryan Pickett had pressure. Harrington just got that ball away. First down, Miami.
Again, getting good pressure. The Packers are rushing just 4 guys. When you can rush 4 guys, that means you can drop 7 guys into coverage, making it tough. Now they blitz.
Out of the no huddle once again, and it's McMichael once again. Covered by A.J. Hawk. And a gain of 7.
And the Packers want a taunting penalty there. They got the... Remember, Will Allen got a taunting penalty earlier, and that's the same thing. Randy McMichaels just jumps up and spikes the ball in A.J. Hawk's face. Lucky he didn't get penalized there.
Harrington now 14 of 31, 161 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks. And again with a 3-receiver set. Throwing on 2nd and 3, a wide-open Derek Hagan. He drops the football after being hit by A.J. Hawk, and there's a flag on the play. Derek Hagan got smoked.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, illegal contact. Defense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And Hawk guilty of the infraction as well, as Hagan is able to get up and walk off the field under his own power.
And Hagan, a young guy with a lot of talent, a lot of ability. He just has to be more consistent holding on to the football. He made 6 catches, got 6 last week, but dropped a couple. And here's another one here. You got to make that catch. You have to expect to get hit in the National Football League. And that's why he's staying down right there. I don't know, he's not hurt because he jumped up and came off the field. Just needed an excuse for dropping another ball.
You mentioned earlier A.J. Hawk not to come off the field this afternoon. That is part of Mike McCarthy's indoctrination program into the National Football League. This one handed off to Ronnie Brown. And slowly but surely, Ronnie Brown starting to rack up the yardage here in the second half.
And that's the thing about this red gun offense. It's not like they're throwing the ball every down. You can still run the ball out of this formation. But now you force the Packers to be in nickel situation, so now they've got more DBs on the field. That should be better for you to run the ball.
Into the corner on single coverage. And great defense there on that pass intended for Marty Booker. Patrick Dendy listed as the second guy at that left corner spot, and a guy signed off the practice squad prior to week 5.
You
Made
can
a great play.
Dendy's in good position here. You know, they're trying to run the fade routes. They've tried to do it all day, but they don't have speed receivers. Marty Booker and Chris Chambers, those guys aren't known as just speed guys that are going to line up and run by you. That's why they're seeing so much bump and run today, is because the Packers feel like their corners can run with them. So now you got to run the underneath stuff and not try to go over the top.
Big 3rd and 5 now for Miami. Underneath. And caught by Derek Hagan. First down, Dolphins.
That's what you have to do. Run those crosses, run the slants, work the middle of the field, run away from the defensive backs. Don't just try to run by them down the field.
Time winding down to the end of the 3rd quarter with the Dolphins on the move. It ticks inside at 10 seconds. This will be the final play of the 3rd. 1st and 10. Joey steps up, a flag. A lot of room for Harrington to run as he slides down at the 14-yard line. But once again, a flag is down on the play.
This is coming back. This is going against the ball.
Offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Geno James, the left guard, guilty of the hold. So that's the end of the third quarter. Our score at the end of 3, 20-13 Packers. Fox NFL Sunday returns after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
There's no excuse. A Wisconsin company tries to create 800 jobs, and Jim Doyle stands in the way. Honda wants to build a new plant in the Midwest, but Jim Doyle doesn't even pick up the phone. And while jobs are lost, Jim Doyle wants to give illegal aliens handouts, in-state tuition at UW, subsidized home loans. His ads just aren't telling the truth. What is Jim Doyle thinking? To change Madison, we need to change governors.
Hurry in and save during the Menard Day sale. Mold and mildew-resistant Dent Shield is the perfect ceramic tile underlayment. Its exclusive coating is designed to stop moisture absorption. Easy to cut and install. A 32 by 60 inch sheet is only $6.99. Add color to your home with Dutch Boy paint. There's no better time to buy. Right now, save $7 on all gallons of interior or exterior Dutch Boy paint. Paint today and save at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I served 1 year in Iraq. I wanted to be in the Army. I thought it'd be a good way to help people. Sometimes they forget about you when you're over there. Dave Obey doesn't forget about you. When Dave Obey found out that some soldiers didn't have body armor, he went to work to get them the right equipment.
Dave Obey's fought for health care benefits and educational benefits for veterans. Some guys just wave the flag. Dave Obey does the work.
I'm Dave Obey. I'm proud to authorize this message, and I'm awfully proud of these guys.
Fox 2548 is your home for Viking and Packer football.
Turnovers and penalties have been the story for the Miami Dolphins. They have a first down in the red zone, but watch Geno James right here, number 78. He gets beat inside by Aaron Campman on the speed rush and just tackles him. Just tackle him. That's an easy call. Now that negates the long run by Joey Harrington.
So that makes it a 1st and 20 on the Green Bay 43. After a busy scoring quarter, the 4th and final quarter underway from Dolphin Stadium. Harrington asked to dance, underthrows his target under pressure. It was intended for Marty Booker.
And now the pressure starting to get to Joey Harrington. He just rushes that throw, never sets his feet. He senses the pressure coming, but he's got time to set his feet and throw this ball. You can see the pressure's coming. He can step into that throw. Instead, he short arms it, and now the ball is short. He's got a receiver down the field that's open. That's what pressure does to you when you keep bringing it, you keep getting hits. Even though you don't get there, the quarterback feels you.
2nd and 20 now. And that one caught by Derek Hagan. So they get some of the yardage back. Charles Woodson had the coverage for Green Bay. A gain of 6 on the play. Time for a game break in Los Angeles. Once again, we send you to Chris Rhodes.
That crazy game in Atlanta. Ben Roethlisberger knocked out. Here comes Charlie Batch, and there goes Hines Ward for 70 yards on the score. The last 30 with one shoe. Run all the way to Foot Locker. Get a size 13 and a size 11 for me for giving up, but the Falcons have the lead.
A lot more offense over there.
Somersault in the end zone.
Shoeless. Harrington on 3rd down. Pass caught by Marty Booker. That'll be shy of a 1st down. So that'll bring out Alindo Mare in the field goal unit for Miami after the gain of 10 that found him shy of the 1st down marker. Mare 2 for 2 so far today. With his 2 field goals today, Mare improves to 10 for 15 on the year. This from 45 yards away. Up and good. The old Olindo Mare here this afternoon.
The champagne glasses may seem familiar, but you've never seen a car virtually park itself. The new LS. Unprecedented.
You're on a mission to get an amazing new TV for the ultimate high-def football experience. Circuit City makes it simple.
I guess you're just what I needed.
That's because we've got thousands of online customer reviews that rate the hot new stuff. And right now, get no interest for 18 months on all TVs $4.99 and up. Plus, get up to 10% off TVs only at Circuit City.
You're just what I needed.
Welcome. Welcome to a brand new day. Welcome to a place where books rewrite themselves. Where you can drag and drop people wherever they want to go. Where maps are rewritten. And anyone can be famous. Where we're more powerful together than we ever could be apart. Welcome to the Human Network.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by Lexus. The new LS, unprecedented. All new LS. By Cisco, welcome to the Human Network. Cisco, by Circuit City. And by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite, always a good call.
The heat index at 91 degrees at game time, and it's gotten even warmer in terms of the lead. Green Bay can hear Miami coming. Now just a 4-point advantage for Favre in the pack on a hot afternoon in South Florida. Vernon Morency starts the kick at the 10 and takes it back shy of the 30-yard line. 2 weeks from tonight, Family Guy returns all new, and you ain't seen nothing yet. It all starts 2 weeks from tonight at 9/8 Central, right here on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Keita Griffin's cohort wackiness. Lamont Green in the backfield with Favre. Again, Green Bay without Greg Jennings from here on out this afternoon, who left with an ankle problem. Amon Green breaks one man to beat down the sideline. This game don't show my breakaway speed. Touchdown pack. A 70-yard touchdown run.
That's what Amon Green brings to this offense. He's got big play potential. They didn't do much running the ball all game long. Now he just finds a crease front side and just hits it and then turns on the Jets. I guess those hamstrings are feeling good. He told us he was healthy and he was ready to go. He turned them on.
He had one man to beat and then kicked in the turbo to get past Ronaldo Hill for a 70-yard touchdown run. The 50th career touchdown rush for the four-time Pro Bowler. The PAT good. And a little breathing room for Green Bay in the fourth.
Looking for something.
Where's the call?
I got tired of people taking it. So I got a Visa check card. And if this gets stolen, I'm not liable for any fraudulent charges. And I get all that money back.
Bragging.
The Visa check card. Safer, better money. Life takes Visa.
world's first 8-speed automatic transmission. The new LS. Unprecedented.
What are you doing? Where's the siren? Don't touch.
You really don't have to act any geekier. The whole outfit does it for you.
That dog is compromising my remains, so shoot it.
I'm not shooting him. FBI, freeze!
I feel like kicking.
That's normal after a pursuit. We try not to do that.
Bones, all new episodes Wednesday, November 1st on Fox.
Amon Green breaks off a 70-yard touchdown run. His 30th 100-yard game as a Packer. And now just a handful of yards from scrimmage away from passing James Lofton for number 1 on the all-time Packer lists. So Miami with some work to do. No chance at a return for Wes Welker.
You know, the whole premise of this zone blocking scheme is to stretch the front side, cut off the backside. Look at Scott Wells, the center. Right here, he cuts off the backside. They stretch the front side, and then look at the hole that Amon Green has to run through. He just jumps through there, and now it's a foot race, and he runs away from Ronaldo Hill down the field. And I think those guys aren't happy. Look at that, Jagodzinski and offensive line coach. Everybody's happy. You know, when you're not winning ball games, the little things become huge for you.
Well, they're opening up a couple of cold ones back in West Dallas this afternoon. Harrington back to pass, and he has the pass caught by Chris Chambers. Chambers breaks it near midfield on a big gainer for Miami. A pickup of 23 yards for the Dolphins, and Joey Harrington has a lot in fourth quarters. In fact, go back to their loss last week against the Jets. Harrington, after throwing for 67 combined yards through the first 3, passed for 199 yards in the fourth quarter. That's the biggest fourth quarter passing total in the league this year. This one in and out of the hands of his intended target. Wes Welker had it skirt right through his mitts.
Another drop ball, again, almost results in another turnover for Miami, but Green Bay's got to be smart here. They've been playing man-to-man coverage all day. Now you're up by 11 points. You know that the Dolphins are going to throw the ball. Now is when you change it up. You drop into some zone coverages, play press bail, and you can see Wes Welker just takes his eyes off the ball too early, and that ball bounces off his shoulder pads. Almost another big turnover.
The 4 drop passes in back-to-back weeks for Miami.
Now you see those corners are playing off now, giving them the underneath throw.
Harrington's pass is caught by Randy McMichael, and now they're saying no catch. Another ball that hits the turf.
Now the Boo Birds are coming out. That's way too many drops, and Randy McMichael, that's about the 4th one we've seen out of him today on balls that should have been caught.
So that'll make it 3rd and 10. That would have been good for a first down plus. But Joey Harrington's wondering just what he's got to do to have a receiving corps hang on to his deliveries. Sammy Morris in the backfield with Harrington now on 3rd and 10 after a couple of drops in the series. He gets it out to Morris, and after the catch, Sammy Morris has a Miami first down the middle of the field. There goes Sammy Morris, fumble! And it bounces out of bounds. Miami catches a huge break. Charles Woodson knocked the ball free from Morris.
That's just a guy making a play. Everything broke down on that play, and Sammy Morris, he was just the outlet. He was just the running back that just leaks out. Harrington dumps it off to him, and then he just makes a play himself. There's nobody down the field that's open. Now Sammy Morris just leaks out. A couple missed tackles by Barnett right there. There's Marquand Manuel. And a great block by Wes Welker down the field right there. And Charles Woodson strips that ball out of there, but it goes out of bounds. That's the kind of play that Miami needed to get back in this game. A big play.
That's a gain of 44 yards for the Dolphins. It brings up a 1st and 10 from the Packer 13. Harrington out of the gun. Over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Miami. Derek Hagan with the TD reception, and the Dolphins get it right back.
Big play gives you so much momentum and more confidence, a sense of urgency, and the Packers just playing a little too loose, playing zone coverage now, and Hagan just sits down in the middle of the field and no one closes on him, gets it into the end zone.
First career touchdown for the rookie receiver out of Arizona State, and now Miami will line up for the two-point conversion. They are 0-2 in such attempts so far this year.
They have to go for the 2 here to get within 3, so then a field goal ties the game.
To make it a one-possession game. A field goal game, that is. On the play fake. Harrington into the back of the end zone, wide open. They convert the 2. Marty Booker made the grab in very little traffic. There is a flag down on the play, however.
That's on Aaron Campbell. He hit Joey Harrington after the play.
The try for point is good. We have a personal foul, roughing the passer, number 74 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Timeout.
Well, they've dropped a few, but they've hung on to some important ones. The Dolphins passing game has it to within 3.
UPS, covering more of Europe before noon than anyone. UPS, covering more ground faster than ever.
Here's how it works. Get the nation's slimmest smartphone at a very slim price. The Q. With easy access to email and Windows Mobile. It's the stylish way to work. Exclusively from Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless, it's the network.
There was a moment there where I thought, that was a pretty doggone good throw. I can probably play.
My sophomore year against Thomasville, I only got 3 balls. And those 3 went for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. I knew right then that I was on my way.
And the stadium was rocking, it was packed. Got a total of 400-some yards. That's when I knew.
When people stopped calling me Archie's boy, started calling me Peyton. That was a big moment for me.
1,800 players, 1,800 stories, one outfitter. Last night, Pujols and McComo struck first. Now the Cinderella Tigers look to even the series. Game 2, tonight on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Oh, we got a wild one in South Florida here this afternoon with plenty of time left. 11:56 left in regulation. Back alongside J.C. Pearson, Matt Vasgersian. The Packers clinging to a field goal advantage on the road here this afternoon. Kick hits the goalpost. A reminder, more football coming up on Fox. The second half of our doubleheader coverage begins as soon as the Packers and Dolphins are through. Many of you will see Minnesota at Seattle. Some Washington at the Colts. Again, game 2 of our doubleheader coming up on Fox. Already a couple of finals in the NFL. And some unbelievable comebacks as well. First and 10 for the Pack at the 20-yard line. Amon Green, part of a huge afternoon for him. Breaks off another effective run, a gain of 8.
And that's that cutback off of that zone stretch play again. When we talked to Amon Green last night, he said he's reading the flow of the defenses, in particular the linebackers. If they're flowing too quickly to the front side, he's just going to try to cut the ball backside behind him. On the long touchdown, he stayed front side because they were too slow. That play, he comes back behind him.
2nd and 2. A quick pass to Donald Driver. And he puts a move on the defender to get the first down. Donald Driver doing a nifty dance. You never would have bought a move like that as a defensive backfield guy, would you?
That was pretty good right there. That was big because it gave them a first down and another set of downs. Of course, they've got to work this clock some. They can't afford to throw the ball every play, stop the clock on incompletions, then give the ball back to Miami. Now is the time they've got to incorporate the run, or if they're going to throw it, throw those controlled passes where they can complete them, keep the clock moving.
Driver in motion, Vernon Morency in the backfield with Favre. Look out on the blind side. Brett gets it away, and the pass is caught by Ravel Martin, still on his feet and knocked out of bounds at midfield. A gain of 19.
Brett gets up limping there. Even though it's a short throw, it takes a long time because Martin is coming all the way across the field. You see the blitz right there. Keith Traylor inside. Will Allen coming on the outside. They just sandwich Favre. See, it looks like maybe that right knee got caught under big Keith Traylor.
Ravel Martin. Here this afternoon, Vernon Morency on the carry. A gain of a yard. Flushed out and snuffed by Channing Crowder. Brett 15 for 30, 166 passing yards today. And in a game that was really sluggish through the first half, JC, the urgency was established right out of halftime after the Woodson interception and touchdown return. And the Dolphins and Packers have been going at it end zone to end zone ever since that play.
Well, it's been a game of big plays. The Woodson touchdown, the long touchdown run by Amon Green. And it's just who's going to make the most big plays today.
2nd and 9 for Brett over the middle of the field and overthrowing David Martin. Favre good for one touchdown pass here this afternoon. His 37th consecutive game with a TD pass. Only Johnny Unitas had more during his career, 47. The Pack is 3 for 12 on 3rd down today. They split Noah Herron out wide over the middle, and the pass is caught by Donald Driver. To see if forward progress gives him the first down, that's going to be very close.
Well, the spot's not going to give him the first down, but they may end up challenging this spot because it looks like when he stretched out, he may have had enough, but they're not going to challenge it. They're just going for it. See, Donald Driver's just going to run just this quick slant. Like when he stretched that ball out, it looked like he was well over the 40-yard line.
Now Mike McCarthy is 2 for 5 on 4th down this year. Green and Myrie in the backfield. 4th and maybe a yard. The reverse, Donald Driver. Now he's got a lot of room to run and has a first down for Green Bay. What a gutsy call on 4th and 1. And once they made Dan Wilkinson miss, Driver was able to convert.
No, that was Bonnie Holiday, number 91. Once Bonnie Holiday didn't make the play back there, it was easy for Donald Driver to get enough yards up the field for that first down.
Bonnie Holiday, indeed, the ex-Packer, had a chance to get back there and make a huge stop for Miami. So 1st and 10 for the Pack. Morency again lines up behind Myrie. And they hand it to Morency. Let's take a look at that 4th and 1 play once again.
Well, you've got to make a play when you have a chance, especially in a critical situation like this. You can see Vonnie Holliday's up the field. He just doesn't get up the field enough. If you're going to miss the guy, you got to force him to turn back inside to the pursuit. He allows Donald Driver to get around the corner, then up the field for a first down.
It looked for a moment like Miami had snuffed that out and come up with a big stop. Instead, the drive still alive. The 8th play of the drive for Green Bay. Favre with time. And that one caught by Driver once again, who's in the midst of a big afternoon on the road.
Will Allen all over him, but that was just a good throw by Brett Favre. He just drilled that ball in there to Donald Driver. Now again, they're in 3rd and short, very manageable situation. They keep the clock moving. They're in scoring range right now. That was the kind of drive they needed to put together. Now they just can't afford to turn the ball over, something that's haunted them all season. Now they've got to take care of the football.
10 receptions for Donald Driver, 93 yards as he takes a seat for the time being. Quick pass by Favre, and this one caught by Chris Francis.
Man, just so dangerous. Just gambling right there. What, 3rd and inches? Why risk throwing the ball and possibly getting a tip, getting an interception, turning the ball over? Just run the ball inside. Especially you're throwing it to a guy who's a rookie playing his first game. Chris Francis runs that slant route. He's got Hill on him, but 3rd and inches, why even take that chance? Run the ball, get the first down, keep the clock moving. That's a gamble right there.
Francis, the undrafted free agent out of UTEP, makes his first NFL reception. Favre had it tipped, and it's caught by David Martin. Touchdown, Pack!
Wow. Again, another gamble. This one pays off for him. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and they were lucky on this play. This ball very easily could have been picked off by Traverse Tillman.
Oh, my. I mean, you could say that Brett Favre this afternoon has the guts of a cat burglar. That would be the understatement of his career.
You got to be smart, though, in these situations, especially when you haven't won very many games. You got to play to win. Play smart.
The Raider point after is good. 11 plays, 80 yards. Favre to Martin, unafraid.
Way back then, we had the horse and carriage.
There was no television then. People listen to the radio.
Get the clothes out, wash them on the washboard.
And then the calculators got smaller and smaller.
45 would drop and it would play.
Have you held the rabbit ears in exactly the right position?
I used to have to parallel park myself.
Coach, when it's this hot, can any beer be more refreshing than Coors Light?
No, I don't believe that. That's not possible.
We'll save a cold one for you, Coach.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
How do you choose between Coors Light and cold refreshment?
Well, I don't believe I can segregate the two.
It was a trick question.
Taste the cold of Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Hey, Coach, we still got a 12-pack and 4 ice-cold cans.
Well, 12 and 4 is pretty good.
It's our last shot. I guess this is where we're at.
Watch David Martin here on the touchdown pass, and watch how close this pass comes to being intercepted by Tillman. He's just going to run the seam route, look at the end of this play. Looks like he's wide open, but look at Tillman. Tillman thinks he has the ball, and the ball just squeaks through there, and it's a touchdown for the Packers. That, when you're playing from the lead, you got to play smart. It worked out for him in that instance, Matt, but you got to question that call.
Close horseshoes and hand grenades, my friend. 405 career touchdown passes for Brett Favre, who is gassed in the heat here this afternoon. They're going to vacuum him down again, work on him with the flow beat.
You know, my point in that is that you're not playing from behind. You're playing with the lead. So why gamble in those situations? And yes, it did work out. And you can say, well, you play to win, but you also have to play smart. Because if that ball is intercepted there, or the one before that is intercepted, and now they give up the ball and get no points, well, now you got some answering to do.
Harrington still with time. Check down pass is complete to Ronnie Brown. A gain of 7 on the play for Miami. But just when the Dolphins should really tighten things up after the 2-point conversion, it was Harrington to Hagan for the touchdown, Harrington to Booker for the 2-point conversion. But it's back to being a 2-possession game now. And that one bounces in and out of the hands of Derek Hagan, who is mauled defensively by Nick Barnett. Patrick Dendy was in there as well. The Dolphins have passed for 277 yards here today. And as fans know, this has been a part of the Packers' defensive game that's really struggled. Last in the NFL in passing yards allowed. They've allowed a lot of big plays on the year. So far this afternoon, only 3 plays allowed of 20 yards or more. They started play having allowed 28 such big plays. Third and 3 here. Pass is caught and stripped loose. Marty Booker made the reception, but it came free.
Charles Woodson, veteran guy, who knows how to strip those balls when the ball comes in. Just knocks that ball out of there. Booker looks like he has the completion, but it's never over. You're going to see Woodson come in with that left hand. See Woodson coming right here with Booker, and look at that right hand actually just comes in and strips that ball out of there from Marty Booker. That's a great play, a veteran play by Charles Woodson.
Well, the Dolphins are in 4-down territory in terms of the clock and the scoreboard deficit. It's 4th and 3. Miami 2 for 5 on the year on 4th down. Make it 3 for 6 as Wes Welker makes the first down reception for Miami.
Now they've got to get into their Mayday no-huddle offense where everything is sped up and they're moving faster. Their 2-minute drill. They've got to get 2 scores, so they can't afford to do their regular red gun no-huddle and take their time and call the plays. They've got to get on the ball.
Here comes the rush. And thrown past the outstretched dive of Justin Peel. Nick Barnett was applying the pressure to Harrington. For those of you in the home markets of our late games, in a moment we'll be switching you and leaving this game to find the start of your game in your market. This has been a fun one to watch here in Miami so far. The Packers went to the locker room trailing at half. Not a lot happening at all in the first half for either offense, but it's been a shootout ever since, and Harrington is dropped. Michael Montgomery with penetration and the sack for Green Bay.
A great move at the line of scrimmage by Michael Montgomery. Just a spin move on Damian McIntosh. McIntosh just whiffs him. Montgomery's right in the face of Joey Harrington.
A loss of 10 yards on the play on the 3rd sack that Harrington has suffered this afternoon.
Now you just have to keep the ball in front of you. If you're a defensive back for Green Bay, just make sure that no one gets behind you. Come up and make the tackle.
That one underneath. It'll be well short of a first down, though Marty Booker does make something of it to get it a little closer to first down territory. It looks like Harrington wants to take a timeout here. Well, you know they're going to go for it here on fourth down, on 4th and 5. Boy, it was that last drive by Brett Favre and the Packers that made this such an urgent situation here for Miami.
You see, did a good job of just spreading the ball around. This was the big play right here. Bonnie Holiday misses Donald Driver. He gets the first down, and then they continue to throw the ball. Donald Driver catches it. They take it all the way in the end zone with the touchdown to David Martin.
How does Randy McMichael make that catch? He had A.J. Hawk wrapped all over him. McMichael's dropped 3 passes today, but he makes perhaps the most difficult catch he's had to make all afternoon.
Consistency, and that's what this offense has been lacking, consistency. And that's what Coach Saban said. Guys have to continue to make plays when they have a chance, and they drop too many balls again.
Time ticking away on Saban and the Dolphins.
They're taking way too much time to get a play off.
First down, Harrington has a man open. Pass is caught by Derek Hagan, who gets out of bounds.
Now what the Packers have to be careful about is, a lot of times when you call prevent defenses or you want them to play softer, mentally they relax. And now they give up too many yards underneath. You still have to be aggressive. You still have to play tough. You can't give up so many yards underneath.
This is the 10th play of the drive for the Dolphins. Motion on the line for Miami.
Illegal snap, offense, number 66. Yard penalty, still first down.
Same idea. Rex Hadnot, the center, a little too froggy with the snap. He had been removed earlier with a neck burner and came back into the game in the second half. So it makes it a 1st and 15 as it marches Miami back to the 42-yard line of Green Bay.
Let's go, G!
A full complement of timeouts still left for the Dolphins. Harrington's pass is caught by Wes Welker up to the 35.
That's exactly what Green Bay wants, right? They're going to give the Dolphins all of those routes underneath. They're going to drop back. They're playing cover 2. They're just going to let them catch those short passes, come up, make the tackle, because it keeps the clock moving.
And the clock continues to move. This ball snapped at the 2:41 mark. Harrington's hit as he throws. And another one caught in traffic. Chris Chambers making the reception. Up to the 30-yard line as Al Harris had coverage for the Pack.
Yeah, Miami, they've got to get on the ball. Guys are walking around. They're taking their time. They've got to get on the ball and get the ball snapped.
Harrington with another open receiver. This one's thrown past Derek Hagan. Joey told us yesterday that he prefers the quick offense. He enjoys the no-huddle scheme that they have here. And as you mentioned earlier, they've got 2 of them, and it just doesn't look like there's much urgency here in the 4th quarter with a 10-point deficit.
Yeah, and their whole team likes the no-huddle offense, and here on 4th down, they're going to go for the field goal. They need 2 scores. So they figure they're going to go ahead and try to kick the field goal here and then see if they can get an onside kick.
Lindemar has been perfect on the afternoon. This is a 47-yard attempt.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Boy, and nowhere is that lack of urgency hurt you more than when you're about to spot up a field goal. It's going to march him back still. What's the story this afternoon with penalties on field goal attempts? We saw 2 of them getting into the locker room at half, and now it's a 52-yard attempt for Mare. This is near his career long of 54. He's got the distance. Hit the upright, no good. And that'll effectively ice it for Green Bay this afternoon.
Stranger things have happened. It's not over until it's over. You can get a fumble. The way Green Bay's been playing tonight, they're going to throw the ball around. So there's still some opportunities out here. You see that ball just hits that left upright, square on the upright. And when you think back to the play before they got the delay of game, they kicked the ball, and it was good. They get the delay of game, they come back, they back up 5 yards. Now they take the field goal and the points off the board.
Three timeouts left for both teams. You get a playoff before the 2-minute warning here. Vernon Morency in the backfield. And he takes the ball perhaps for a loss of a yard. And that takes us down to the 2:01 mark.
Timeout, Miami.
Before a timeout is taken by the Dolphins. Let's go back to that Brett Favre drive that made this a 10-point lead for Green Bay. They took some shots here. There was a couple of big receptions made. This was the gutsy 4th and 1 call, the reverse that Donald Driver just barely avoided a tackler. And then the nervy pass to Driver, and the nervier still touchdown pass to David Martin. 5-6 for 763 yards in that impressive touchdown drive. So this will be the final play before the 2-minute warning. And the handoff to Amon Green. 1:57 left in regulation. A 10-point game in Miami. We'll be right back.
Fox NFL Sunday, sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
Three screens, wireless, broadband, and TV are coming together. Another innovation from AT&T, helping you make the most of your world. The passion to invent, the drive to deliver. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
The champagne glasses may seem familiar, but you've never seen a car virtually park itself. The new LS, unprecedented.
I'll vote for you if you vote for me.
Done.
Now you can make your Pro Bowl picks from just about anywhere. Text the word PRO to 7777 with your Sprint or Nextel service, or vote at NFL.com.
Is voting 692 times too much?
No.
Did you vote yet?
Welcome back to Miami, where Charles Woodson has been attacked by Dr. Octopus of the Spider-Man cartoon series. My goodness.
The way he's been stripping balls out today is like he has 4 or 5 arms out there, knocking balls around all day long, knocking them away from receivers, running backs. Got the interception for a touchdown. Maybe those are some extra appendages that no one knew about.
Somebody call that David Orrick guy and tell him to quit hawking his vacuum cleaners here at the stadium. It's getting ridiculous this afternoon. It has not been a fun afternoon for the homestanding Miami Dolphins. Down by 10, hoping to get the ball back. It's a 2-possession affair. And the third down handoff to Amon Green, well short of a first down. A reminder coming up next, doubleheader coverage. Many of you will see Minnesota at Seattle, some the Redskins at Colts. It's coming up after hours here in Miami. Both the Dolphins and Packers have set season scoring highs this afternoon. And in fact, Miami went into the locker rooms at halftime with a lead. There wasn't a whole lot of offense at all until the third quarter.
Might be the longest game of the year so far, also time-wise.
Drop balls have once again plagued the Dolphins. A low snap, and the John Ryan punt is away for Wes Welker, who starts the return at the 16-yard line. Precious little time for Miami's offense. A minute 41 left in regulation. The Dolphins down 10. Coming up next right here on Fox, many of you will get the Redskins and Colts as Indianapolis tries to join Chicago at 6-0. A dump-off pass to Randy McMichael. He's still on his feet and finally tackled at the 37-yard line. Time ticking away. One timeout remaining for Miami.